Chapter 13, Battle of the Fusions. I do not own Dragon Ball Z or any of its characters. Warning, there will be a lemon in this chapter. Kale and Cauliflower were laying on the ground in complete pain. Naruto didn't go easy on them during their training. They didn't even touch him, and it was worse because he kept taunting them. It was the same tactic Vados used on him during training, but he didn't tell them that. Speaking of Vados, after Kale and Cauliflower transformed into Super Saiyan 3, nobody has seen her or Whis since. Naruto figured she was off calming down after the entire thing with Arceus, and for some reason he just didn't care that she was mad. He looked over at Kale and Cauliflower as they tried to get up and just smirked. "Take that stupid smirk off your face," Cauliflower said. "Naruto." Kale said. "Yes, Kale." Naruto said. "I don't like you right now." Kale said. "Why?" "It was just some friendly training." Naruto said. "We fought for over 50 hours. You didn't let us get a single hit." Cauliflower said. "I didn't know I was supposed to." Naruto said. "Hey, Naruto." Trunks said. "Yeah." Naruto said. "Can we train with you?" Goten asked. "How strong are you?" Naruto asked. "Stronger than them." Trunks said arrogantly. "Really? Can you go Super Saiyan?" Naruto asked. "Duh." Trunks said, and they transformed. Their Super Saiyan power levels are lower than my full power before I transformed. Naruto thought. "Can you go Super Saiyan too?" Naruto asked. "No." Trunks said. "Then you can't train with me. More importantly, you aren't stronger than Kale or Cauliflower." Naruto said. "Yes, we are. We can fuse together." Trunks said. "So can they. Tell you what. In a week we'll have a fight. Goten and Trunks versus Kale and Cauliflower. How does that sound?" Naruto asked. "I'm in." Goten said. "Why a week?" Trunks asked. "Because you'll need the extra training. Plus, Kale and Cauliflower will be training as well." Naruto said. "Deal. Come on, Goten. Let's use the hyperbolic time chamber." Trunks said. "Okay." Goten said and flew off with Trunks. "The hyperbolic time chamber, huh? Interesting." Naruto said. "What's the hyperbolic time chamber?" Cauliflower asked. "It's a room that lets you get a year of training done in a day. You can only use it 2 times in your life. If you go in a 3rd time, the door goes away, keeping you in there forever." Naruto said. "How do you know that?" Kale asked. "It's one on Earth in Universe 6. I came across it, but never used it." Naruto said. "Why not?" Cauliflower asked. "I prefer to train outside." Naruto said. "Can I use it?" Cauliflower asked. "You could, but I wouldn't recommend it." Naruto said, and somebody appeared behind him. "Naruto?" A voice asked, and it was an angel he's never seen before. "Depends on who's asking." Naruto said. "The Grand Priest would like a word with you." The angel said. "I figured this was coming. Let's go." Naruto said and used instant transmission to leave. Omni King Palace. "You called?" Naruto asked the Grand Priest. "You are supposed to bow when speaking to the Grand Priest and knock before entering." An angel said. "Whatever. What do you want?" Naruto asked. "It has come to my attention that you have information on a rogue angel." The Grand Priest said. "Your point?" Naruto asked. "I would like to know how you obtained this information." The Grand Priest said. He's responsible for the death of my father. I talked to my father when I was nearly dead from a deadly heart virus, and he told me what happened. This is all your fault, but I'm not holding you accountable for his actions. Naruto said. How is it my fault? The Grand Priest asked. I know the only person stronger than you is the Omni King. Had you done your job right, then Arceus wouldn't have been on the run for this long. My father would still be alive, and I wouldn't have had to grow up the way I did. The two idiots sitting on the throne are supposed to overlook this, but apparently the one from our world doesn't know how to do his job unless he's pissed off. Naruto said. Such disrespect. An angel yelled and stood up. Be that as it may, I still cannot let you go on and kill him. When you find him, I want you to report your findings to me. The Grand Priest said. No. If I find him, then I'm going to kill him. You've had your chance to do something about it and you failed to do so. Naruto said. That is an order and you will follow it. The Grand Priest said seriously. You seem to think I'm an angel or god of destruction. I don't take orders from you. What are you gonna do if I don't listen to you, huh? Fight me? Naruto asked. He won't, but I will. Vados said. Vados. Makarita said. You can't be serious. Cuz said. I am. I may treat him like my own son, but I'm an angel first and foremost. If I have to step in and fight you, Naruto, I won't hesitate to do it. Vados said. Really? Then if that's the case, you better get ready for a fight. If you're an angel first and foremost, fine, then I'm a saiyan before I'm your adopted son. My love for you will not hinder me from fighting you if I have to. Naruto said, and that hurt Vados. This is a serious situation, Naruto. I think you should listen to reason. The Grand Priest said. I think you should listen to me when I say shut the fuck up. All you're going to do is bring Arceus in and give him a punishment that is nothing but community service. This angel has killed possibly millions of mortal beings, and you simply want to give him a slap on the wrist. What if any of the angels were in my shoes? What would you all do if somebody killed the Grand Priest? Naruto asked. He has a point. Cuz said. Naruto, you will not kill Arceus, and that is final. The Omni Kings said in unison. Look who decided to finally speak up. Is your nap time over? Naruto asked. We get nap time? One of the Omni Kings asked. Fucking idiots. I don't know who's dumber, them or Goku. Naruto said, and then a guard was in front of Naruto, but he was blasted away through a pillar. Enough. The Grand Priest yelled. Look, no matter what you say, I'm fighting Arceus when I find him. If Vados wants to get involved, then I'll fight her as well. Naruto said. You realize it's impossible to kill an angel, correct? Whis asked. It doesn't hurt to try. If I can't kill him, then I'll make him wish he was dead. Same goes for Vados if she really gets in my way. You all allow the idiotic football head over there to commit mass murder and don't even bother to say anything, but the moment I want to kill an angel, it's the most important thing ever and illegal. What makes one life more important than the other? Right is right and wrong is wrong. What Arceus is doing and has done is wrong, but I guess you're all okay with senseless murder as long as it's one of you doing it. All of you are a bunch of hypocrites and you make me sick. This meeting is over. Naruto said and left. Vados. The Grand Priest said. Yes, father. Vados said. I am ordering you to stop Naruto by any means necessary if he fights Arceus. If you have to kill him, then so be it. I cannot allow a mortal to somehow figure out a way to kill an angel. It would disrupt the balance in the world. Do you accept, or shall I give this task to somebody else? The Grand Priest asked, and after a few seconds Vados responded. I accept. Vados said. Excellent. Meeting adjourned. The Grand Priest said, and Vados quickly left. "Cuz, let's go," Macarita said. "Right," Cuz said and left. Vados. After she left the meeting, Vados went to a secluded area in the palace that would keep her away from everybody, and for the first time in angel history, she cried. Angels weren't supposed to get attached to mortals, but somehow Naruto managed to worm his way into her heart and became her son. She accepted her orders from the Grand Priest, and now it was too late to back out. She didn't understand why Naruto couldn't see that this wasn't the way to go about things. She was brought out of her thoughts when Cuz and Macarita appeared. "Vados, are you all right?" Cuz asked. "No, I'm not," Vados said and wiped her face. "Are you crying?" "Angels never cry," Macarita said. "I know," Vados said. "It's Naruto, isn't it?" Cuz asked. "Yes. Why does he have to be so stubborn?" This could have all been avoided had he just listened to the Grand Priest. Vados said. "Can you really blame him?" Macarita said. "What do you mean?" Vados asked. "What would you do if you were in Naruto's position? The person who was responsible for the death of his father is still alive and is still killing people. Wouldn't you want to stop him?" Cuz asked. "Yes, but rules are rules." The Grand Priest gave an order that must be followed. Vados said. "You're thinking like an angel." "The rules of angels don't apply to mortals, Vados. Naruto is well within his rights to want Archie's dead, and you know that," Macarita said. "Why did you agree to the order? Why didn't you let another angel handle it?" Cuz said. "Because I'm the one who trained him and got him this far. It's my job to stop something I created." Vados said. "You're making it seem like Naruto is a bad person or some sort of monster." Cuz said. "Right now, in the eyes of an angel, he is a bad person. Killing an angel is illegal, and if he can't accept that, then I'll have to stop him." Vados said. "You are right. However, in the eyes of a mortal he is also correct." Macarita said. "We're not mortals. We're angels, and he's wrong." Vados said and stood up. "Are you really going to kill him?" Cuz asked. "If I have to," Vados said and left. Naruto. "You're back," Kale said as Naruto appeared next to everyone. "Yeah," Naruto said. "Where's Vados?" Kampa asked. "Don't know and I don't care," Naruto said. "What happened?" Beerus asked. "Yeah. You were gone for quite some time," Bulma said. "Did something happen between you and Vados?" Kaba asked. "I doubt it. She's like his mother," Kampa said. "She's nothing more than an angel. Always has been and she always will be," Naruto said and started to leave. "What about our training?" Caulifla asked. "If you want to train, then I suggest you come on," Naruto said and flew away. "Come on, Kale," Caulifla said and they flew away after Naruto. "I wonder what happened," Kampa said. "Must be serious if Whis and Vados aren't back yet," Beerus said. Naruto, Kale, and Caulifla. "So, what are we going to be doing in our training this time?" Caulifla asked. "You need to know a certain technique," Naruto said. "What technique?" Kale asked. "The fusion," Naruto said. "We already know how to do that. We just get some of those fancy earrings and put them on," Caulifla said. "That's Patera fusion. Those earrings won't be around for you to use all the time," Naruto said. "What's the difference?" Caulifla asked. The Potera fusion lasts for an hour unless the fused being is so powerful that the power sustaining the fusion gets used up. The fusion dance lasts 30 minutes, but it takes an hour before your body can fuse again after it wears off. Naruto said. What happens if you mess up one of them? Kale asked. It's impossible to mess up the Potera fusion since all you do is put an earring on the opposite ear of the person you are fusing with. Naruto said. Then the fusion dance should be impossible to mess up then as well, right? Caulifla asked. Wrong. To correctly perform the fusion dance, the people involved must create a perfect symmetrical image of one another. The fusion dance is a short series of poses that are performed by two people of equal power levels and roughly equal size. The result of a correctly performed fusion dance is a superior being whose power is multiplied several-fold over that of the individual fusees. If one person performs the dance wrong, then it will result in an obese or skinny character who is much weaker than either fusee individually. Naruto said. So we have to get the poses down correctly in order for that to work? Kale asked. Yes, but you also need your timing to be exactly the same. Naruto said. What happens if the timing is off? Caulifla asked. If the timing of the poses is off, it results in a sickly-looking fusion who is also much weaker than each person individually. Naruto said. Okay, so we need to be the same size and same power level? Caulifla asked. Yes. Kale is only taller than you by 2 inches and her power level is higher than yours by a lot, but she can lower her power level to match yours. You have the same body type basically, so you'll be fine as long as everything is done correctly. Naruto said. Body type? Have you been checking me out? Caulifla asked. No. I can just look at you, and the only difference is Kale has a slightly bigger chest than you, but that's besides the point. Over this next week, I'm going to have you two try and become mirror images of each other. It shouldn't be hard for you two because you've been fighting together your entire life. I'll show you the fusion dance a couple of times, and then I'll have you try it out yourself. When I feel like you two are good enough with the fusion dance, I'll have you do the fusion while transformed, which is easier said than done. Naruto said. Then let's do this. Caulifla said. Good to see you have spirit, but I'm going to break that spirit during this training. We'll train nonstop and the only break you have is to eat and sleep. Naruto said. Is he serious? Caulifla asked Kale. Yes. Kale said, and Caulifla saw evil glint in Naruto's eye. Training starts now. Naruto said. Aw shit. Caulifla said. Week later. Over the week Naruto meant what he said when they only had breaks to eat and sleep. Out of the 168 hours in a week, Naruto only allowed Kale and Caulifla 6 hours each day after training to eat and sleep. Kale broke after the first day and would break down every night due to how bad she was hurting. It took Caulifla 2 days before she caved and started to cry with Kale. The fusion was harder than they both thought as they messed up more times than it was successful. If it wasn't the timing, then it was the execution. If it wasn't the execution, it was the timing. If it wasn't either of those, then one of them would increase their power level at the last second and ruin the fusion. They had the mirror movements down perfectly after the first few hours like Naruto thought they would, and when Caulifla got too big for her britches, Naruto reminded her that they only completed the easy part and the worst has yet to come. He felt Goten and Trunks trying to spy on them a few times, but he simply blasted them away. Kappa came and supervised their training a few times and had to admit that he was impressed with how they were progressing. Naruto had them try to fuse as a Super Saiyan, and although it worked a few times, the fusion only lasted for about 30 seconds. He told them that for now the only way they would be able to transform is during the fusion, but limited them to Super Saiyan 2. Right now, Kale and Caulifla were in their room laying down from their final day of training and they were both sore. Kale. Cauliflower said. Yes, Cauliflower? Kale asked. I hate your boyfriend right now. Cauliflower said. I wouldn't go that far, but I do dislike him. Kale said. Ah, and her I thought I'd be nice and bring you two something that would help. Naruto said, walking in the door. What the hell, dude? We could have been naked. Cauliflower said. I've seen Kale naked plenty of times, so it wouldn't have bothered me. As for you, well, you remember last time when you tried to use a new move and it burned your clothes off? Naruto said. Shut up. Cauliflower yelled. Not that I don't appreciate you being here, but why are you here? Kale asked and Naruto gave her a kiss. I bring peace offerings. Think of it as a congratulatory gift for completing the fusion dance. Naruto said. What is it? Kale asked and Naruto threw down a capsule that went up in smoke. Oh hell yeah. Cauliflower said as she was staring at a feast meant for two scions like her and Kale. Plus, I have these. Naruto said and placed two beans on the table. Beans? Kale asked. I remember these. Isn't this what Goku gave Kale during the Tournament of Power after Belmont pulled a cheap shot and almost killed her? Cauliflower asked. Sure is. It's called a senzu bean. Naruto said. What does it do? Kale asked. When eaten, the person who ate it will have their energy and physical health are restored to their fullest. The effects are typically almost instantaneous as soon as you swallow the bean. Naruto said. All right. Cauliflower said and was about to eat it. Don't eat it yet. Naruto said. Why not? Cauliflower asked. If you eat it now, then you won't be hungry again for a few days, and I'm sure you want to enjoy this feast. Naruto said. I guess you're right. Can I ask you something? Cauliflower asked. I guess. Naruto said and sat on the bed with Kale. What's going on with you and Vados? Cauliflower asked and he was silent. Naruto, are you okay? Kale asked. I'm fine. You two should get some rest. You have a fight coming up tomorrow. Naruto said and got up. Naruto, please. What happened? You and Vados were like mother and son. Kale said, looking at him with pleading eyes. Yes, we were like a mother and son, but all she is now is the angel for Universe 6 to me. Nothing more, nothing less. Naruto said. Tell us what happened. Kale said, not breaking eye contact, and Naruto sighed. I found out who and why my father blew himself up. Naruto said. That's good. Now you can go get the bastard and kill him. Cauliflower said. That's easier said than done. The person, well, deity responsible for that was an angel named Arceus. I left earlier because the Grand Priest basically told me I'm not allowed to kill him because he's an angel and Vados sided with him. She said she's an angel first, so that's all she is to me now. She said she'll stop me by any means if I find Arceus, so I want both of you to stay out of it. Naruto said. That's not going to happen. We're in this thing together. Cauliflower said. She's right. Vados is too strong for you and you know you can't beat her. Kale said. Doesn't matter. I said stay out of it. If you interfere, I'll take both of you out. Naruto said. Then you'll have to take us out. Cauliflower said. Don't worry, Naruto. I'll keep them out of your way. Kampa said. I was wondering when you'd show up. Naruto said. You can't stop us. Cauliflower said. I am a god of destruction. Even if you are fused together by the Padera earrings or fusion dance, you don't even come close to 5% of my power. Kampa said. Why are you helping Naruto? Aren't you supposed to be the god and follow the same rules? Kale asked. The rules surrounding the gods killing angels is contradicting. We're not allowed to kill any angels, but at the same time, if anything becomes a threat to our universe, we're supposed to destroy it. Arceus has been in my universe this whole time killing millions, and I have a problem with that. It's my job to kill him, so if I can't do it, then Naruto will have to do it. Kampa said. So you're going to sit back and watch Naruto fight Vados? Caulifla asked. Yes, I am. Naruto knows what he's doing, so I'll let him do this without me interfering. Only a deity can kill another deity, and if by any chance Naruto manages to kill Arceus, he can't really get in trouble for it. Mortals don't have to follow the rules like us gods and angels have too. Yes, the Grand Priest will be furious, but he'll give me and Vados some punishment, like make us train with him or something. Kampa said. I thought you'd be on Vados' side. Caulifla said. I'm a god of destruction, not a god of creation. Destroying things is my job. I don't save lives, I end them. Kampa said. Will Vados fight you for not stopping him? Kale asked. Nope. It's illegal for an angel and god to fight outside of training. She'll be mad at me, yeah, but she won't fight me or anything. Kampa said. Enough about her. Kale, Caulifla, eat and rest up. Your fight is tomorrow. Naruto said and walked out with Kampa. Naruto and Kampa. Are you really going to fight her? Kampa asked. If she gets involved, then yeah. Naruto said. You know she's not going to hold back if she's ordered to stop you. Kampa said. Then I guess she won't be holding back. Naruto said. She was ordered to do so? Kampa asked. She probably was after I left, but before I did she told me straight up that if I go through with this, then she'll stop me at whatever it takes, because she's an angel first and foremost. Naruto said. You'll need a plan if you want to take her on. Rumor has it she's the third strongest angel after the Grand Priest and Cuz. Kampa said. I already have a plan. I'm going to break her mentally. Naruto said. How? Kampa asked. If she gets involved, then you'll see. Naruto said. Good luck, Naruto. Now, if you don't mind, I have a plate of ribs calling my name. Kampa said and flew off. Of course he'd leave for food. Naruto said and teleported away. Next day. All right, you four. This is the fight you wanted, and now you've got it. We came to a mountain area with no life around for nearly 20 miles, so you can fight however you want. Naruto said. This will be a piece of cake. Trunks said. Yeah. Me and Trunks trained really hard. Goten said. Whatever. Kale, I'll the purple-haired one. You take the one that looks like Goku, okay? Caulifla asked. Yes. Kale said. Fight. Naruto yelled. Let's do this. Caulifla said and kicked Trunks away. Caulifla versus Trunks. Lucky shot. Trunks said and transformed into a Super Saiyan. Caulifla wasn't intimidated in the least and simply caught the punch Trunks came at her with and punched him in the gut. She decided to show him why she's way above him in terms of power, skill, and speed. Caulifla blasted Trunks in the face with an energy blast and he was sent flying into the side of a mountain. Before Trunks could react, Caulifla came flying down at him and kicked him right in the stomach. Trunks quickly transformed to Super Saiyan 2 and blasted Caulifla away from him. He used his new speed and punched her in the face, sending her down to the ground. He followed up by shooting multiple energy blasts at Caulifla, creating a huge cloud of smoke, and he didn't stop. If he was paying attention, he would have noticed Caulifla was floating right behind him watching everything. Trunks finally stopped, and that's when she spoke up. Did you get me? Caulifla asked, and he turned around. What the? Trunks was cut off when Caulifla grabbed him by the ankle and slammed him into the ground. Trunks quickly got up, but wasn't able to avoid Caulifla's next attack. She fired off her crush cannon at him and he was hit with multiple red blasts of energy. She stopped the attack and saw Trunks was barely standing, but had his arms up with an attack ready to launch. Trunks fired off a full-powered Gallic gun and to his shock, Caulifla powered up and smacked it away. She used his stunned moments and punched him hard in the face with a fist covered in energy which she called her energy fist. Trunks was sent flying through multiple mountains before he finally hit the ground hard and created a huge line in the ground showing the impact in which he hit the ground and how far he slid. He passed out and was no longer in his Super Saiyan 2 state. He was in his base form and Caulifla picked him up then flew back to the others. Kale vs. Goten. Goten wasted little time in attacking Kale, who was prepared for anything. She blocked Goten's punch and punched him in the face, sending him flying back into one of the surrounding mountains. Goten fired off multiple energy blasts at Kale, who blocked them all and vanished from sight. Goten looked around for any sign of Kale and he couldn't find her. There were no vibrations, no change in wind or anything. It was like she just fell off the face of the earth. What the? Where did she go? Goten asked himself. He was so confused that he didn't see the energy blast coming towards him that connected to his back, sending him to the ground. He looked up and Kale was right in front of his face. He head-butted her and then blasted her away while she was still stunned. He flew at her and punched her away into a mountain. He was surprised that she got up and didn't have a scratch on her. He decided to up pace a bit and transformed into a Super Saiyan, then appeared right in front of her. He went for a quick jab, but Kale slapped his fist away like it was nothing and kicked him away. How's she doing that? Goten thought. Kale wasted no time in capitalizing on her previous attack and used her trap shooter that was one of her signature's moves. She brought her right hand back, charged a green energy sphere, and then waved her hand forward and fired several, compact, powerful energy sphere bullets that followed Goten's movements, inflicting considerable damage to him. Goten stood up after a few minutes and started to power up again. His power kept rising until he was finished, and when the smoke cleared, Kale was staring at Goten, who transformed into a Super Saiyan 2. Kale turned Super Saiyan effortlessly and got a read on Goten's power. She felt his energy draining quickly, so she knew he recently unlocked Super Saiyan 2. I hope you're ready, Goten said. I am, Kale said from behind Goten. Before he could react, Kale had an energy blast at his back and fired it off. Goten was sent flying away, and everyone who was at the Tournament of Power was surprised by how skilled she was now. What they didn't know was that Kale has always been talented, but she was just timid. That changed once she started training with Naruto, and now she was completely different from the tournament. Goten and Kale disappeared and started trading punches and kicks, causing shockwaves all around the area, and they even destroyed some of the mountains. During the fight, Goten would occasionally fire off an energy blast to create an opening, so Kale was taking damage, but not nearly as much as Goten was taking. They separate and Goten was cut and bruised up while Kale had no scrapes or anything on her. Goten cupped his hands to the side and began gathering energy in his hands. Kale jumped back and raised her hands over her head, getting her own attack ready. Goten fired off his Kamehameha and Kale fired off her resist blast. The power struggle was strong enough to create strong winds and destroy the surrounding area, but only Naruto knew what Kale was doing. Kale released her own blast and allowed the Kamehameha to hit her, and Goten added more power to it. Imagine his surprise when Kale came out of his blast and just stared at him. It's over, Kale said. She punched Goten in the gut, knocking him out of his Super Saiyan 2 state, and his Kamehameha faded away. Goten fell to the ground, and although he wasn't unconscious, he was pretty close. Next thing everyone knew, Trunks came falling from the sky and landed next to Goten in a much worse condition. They looked around and saw Caulifla flying down to them with a bored expression on her face. Why'd you even have us fight them? They're not even close to being at our level even with their full power. I basically threw him around the entire fight. Caulifla said. They were arrogant and needed to be humbled. I bet their only competition is the other 3 kids sneaking around here like nobody can see them. If they only beat them up, it's no wonder their power levels as a Super Saiyan is so weak. It doesn't matter how strong you are, somebody will always come along that is stronger. Naruto said. Fugues, you'd have some other motive for this. Kale, why are you transformed? Did he give you a better fight than his friend gave me? Caulifla asked. I just wanted to make him go all out. I had a feeling if I didn't transform then he'd hold back. I wanted to see what he was made of and I wasn't too disappointed. Kale said. We're not done yet. Trunks said. We can still win. Goten said. I thought you two were knocked out. Caulifla said. Let's do it. Trunks said. I guess this is it. You ready, Kale? Caulifla asked. Yes. Kale said. Fushan Ha. Goten and Trunks said, and Gotenks was now standing in their place. I hope you're ready to lose. You're going down. Gotenks said. Fushan Ha. Kale and Caulifla said. They know the fusion? Goku yelled. I taught it to them. Naruto said. Kale and Caulifla started to merge and everything went perfect. A bright light flashed before everyone's eyes and now a new fusion was born. This fusion had Caulifla's hairstyle, but one of her bangs completely covered her left eye. She wore white pants, black sash, a pink crop top shirt and a black vest with gold padding around the shoulders and neck. She wore black boots with gold tapping around them and gold wristbands that went halfway up her forearm. Whoa! This power feels awesome. The fusion said. I see you've successfully pulled off the fusion on your first try. Good job. Oh, what should we call you? Naruto asked. Huh? Using the Potera earrings it was Kefla. Maybe Killa, Kafail, or maybe Kalila. The fusion pondered. Forget it. Just go fight. Naruto said with a sigh. This one definitely has Caulifla's personality. Although you can tell it has mostly Kale's facial features. Naruto thought. Now hold on. Having a name would definitely make us much more cooler. How about Kalal? Yeah, that's the one. Kalal said. Doesn't matter what your name is? You're going down. Say hello to Super Gotenks. Gotenks said and went Super Saiyan. Well, that's nice. Let's go. Kalal said. Gotenks and Kalal flew off into the air, and due to Gotenks being in his Super Saiyan state, he was slightly faster than Kalal. They stopped flying and started fighting each other. Gotenks rushed in first and Kalal ducked out of the way from his punch and aimed a kick at his head that was blocked. Kalal decided to go on the offensive and unlike Kefla, Kalal was fighting more like Kale than Caulifla. Each attack Kalal did was precise and accurate rather than wildly swinging and relying more on power than speed. Gotenks was hit quite a few times and couldn't understand how he was being hit since he was supposed to be stronger. Gotenks created some space and then got in close to use his high-speed rush. It was a combination of many punches and kicks that Kalal had trouble blocking, and Gotenks ended it with a powerful downing strike sending Kalal into the ground. Gotenks wasn't done with his assault and started firing off multiple energy blasts at Kalal. Seeing this coming, Kalal quickly got up and flew around trying to dodge them, but they kept coming and eventually they were too close, so she stopped flying to face them. Once they were close enough, she started knocking them away, causing them to explode, and Gotenks had a smirk on his face. I told you I was stronger than you. Gotenks said. He started laughing and dancing around until he felt a huge power surge and grew serious. Inside of the smoke, Kalal was powering up and you could see her hair turning gold. Naruto looked at this and just smirked because he knew the fight was about to get started. Gotenks flew into the smoke and all everyone saw was a golden form come flying out of the smoke, but it wasn't Gotenks at Kalal. Kalal corrected herself and faster than Gotenks could see, she appeared behind him and gave him an overhead kick to the ground. Kalal gathered energy above her head and fired off her own wave of energy blasts at Gotenks. Gotenks tried to do the same maneuver she did when she got out of his attack, but hers covered a wider area and he took some damage trying to fly through the attack. Gotenks, having no choice, powered up to Super Saiyan 2 and his release of power cancelled out Kalal's attack. Gotenks flew at Kalal and they started fighting all over the mountain area, destroying anything in their path, creating shockwaves for their collisions. They could hear Chi-Chi and Bulma cheering Gotenks on, and Naruto wondered how they were able to see the fight when they were moving faster than the speed of light. Gotenks and Kalal ended the brief scuffle and landed in the ground. Both of them were covered in cuts and bruises, but Gotenks took a lot more damage than Kalal. "You're better than I thought you'd be. If the fusion dance was what it took for you to give me a challenge, then you should have just did that from the start," Kalal said. "This is nothing. We're both in our Super Saiyan 2 transformations. Wait until I kick it up a notch." "What's so funny?" Gotenks asked as Kalal started to laugh. "What's funny is that you think I'm in my Super Saiyan 2 form. I'm still a regular Super Saiyan. This is my Super Saiyan 2 form," Kalal said and powered up to a Super Saiyan 2. Before Gotenks could react, Kalal charged at him and side kicked him up into the air. Then she flew up and roundhouse punched Gotenks away before flying and reappearing behind him to elbow him in the stomach as Gotenks turned around. Finally, Kalal attacked Gotenks with a punching and kicking barrage and kicked him up into the air before kneeing Gotenks in the back and gave him a double axe handle punch, sending him down to the ground, and Gotenks knew she inflicted a high amount of damage. "Ow. That hurt," Gotenks said. "It was supposed to," Kalal said. Gotenks powered up to his maximum in Super Saiyan 2 and vanished from sight. Before Kalal could react, she was kicked in the chin and sent flying into the air. Gotenks appears above her and goes for an overhead hammer strike, but Kalal vanishes from sight and grabs Gotenks by the back of his neck, then smashed him face first into the mountain. She went for another attack, but was blown away by Gotenks releasing his full power. "It's time to end this," Gotenks said in his Super Saiyan 3 state. Faster than Kalal could react, Gotenks appeared behind her and smashed her face first into the mountain where he was just at. He capitalized and used his Dai missile barrage on Kalal, and every single one of them hit its mark. He gave her no time to recover, and before she could react she was surrounded by a large golden ring of energy that closed in on her and restricted her movements. Gotenks flew in front of Kalal and fired a point-blank Kamehameha at her, creating a huge explosion. Kalal was seen falling from the air and everyone thought Gotenks won the fight. Naruto looked closely and noticed the smirk on her face as she was falling from the sky. Gotenks didn't let up as he created 5 ghostly versions of himself from his mouth and sent them all over to Kalal, and the moment they touched her, they exploded, and since they were underneath her, the explosion sent her back into the air. Gotenks used his Ultra Volleyball attack and Kalal felt his energy starting to fade from his rapid use of moves and let him get this one. Gotenks fired multiple galactic donuts that trapped Kalal in a volleyball-like energy sphere. He grabs the ball and hits it up into the air. Finally, Gotenks flies up into the air and spikes the volleyball down to the ground, creating a massive crater and inflicting a huge amount of damage, or so he thought. Oh yeah. That's what happens when you challenge the best fusion around, known as Gotenks, Gotenks said and started celebrating. "Not bad, kid," Kalal said. "Huh. Gotenks said and stopped celebrating. You've got some impressive moves. Too bad they weren't really doing anything. I figured I'd let you get some hits in and see what you're about, but it's not much. Now, prepare yourself. Kal-El said as she powered up to Super Saiyan 3. Before Gotenks could react, Kal-El had her fist in his gut and he coughed up some blood. She picked him up, then slammed him into the ground and started a vicious ground and pound assault. The amount of power behind her attacks left Gotenks' arms numb. Gotenks blasted her in the face to get away, and she quickly caught up to him. Kal-El fired off a point-blank wave of red energy at Gotenks, and he was sent flying back towards the ground. She fired multiple energy blasts at him, and he couldn't block any of them, so they all connected. He was in his base form once the smoke cleared, and he could barely stand. Kal-El, seeing this, decided to finish the fight and pointed her hand at Gotenks. She gathered energy to her hand that was a lime green color and fired off a small blast that turned gigantic. This was her gigantic cannon, and once it reached Gotenks it exploded, creating a huge cloud of black smoke. I win, Kal-El said as she powered down. Was the last move needed? Naruto asked. No, but it was nice to try it out, Kal-El said. Well, I guess you're right, Naruto said. How much time do I have left? Kal-El asked, and Naruto punched her in the stomach and separated the fusion. Time's up, Naruto said with a smirk. I don't like you, Caulifla said. Don't be like that, Naruto said. She's right, Naruto. I may be your wife, but I don't like you for that either, Kale said. Me, Naruto said and walked away. One of these days I'm going to kick his ass, Caulifla said. I do it on a regular basis, Kale said. You're stronger than him? Caulifla asked. No, but when he does something that annoys me I beat him up. It's really satisfying, Kale said. Caulifla, are you okay? Kaba asked, flying over to them. I'm fine, Kaba, Caulifla said with a blush. I'll leave you two alone, Kale said. Huh? No, wait, Kale. Don't. Bye-bye, Kale said and flew off. Sue, Caulifla said, not looking at Kaba due to the blush on her face. Sue, Kaba said. Few days later. Everybody in, Kappa said. There's no need to raise your voice. We're right next to you, Naruto said as they were leaving Universe 7. Just get in the damn cube, Kappa yelled. I don't know why you're yelling. You're not in a rush to do anything, Caulifla said as she stepped into the cube. Aw man. I didn't get to fight Naruto again, Goku said. You couldn't deflect the blast he sent at him, so you couldn't fight him, Kappa said. Then how the hell does the female get to train with him? Vegeta asked, pointing at Kale. The same way Bulma gets you to do anything for her, Naruto said. I see, Vegeta said with a smirk. That's just wrong, Caulifla said. You'll understand why it happens someday, Naruto said. Here's the medicine and a copy of the notes for the heart virus, Bulma said. Thank you, Bulma, Naruto said. Wait. Don't leave yet. Everyone looked up and saw Chi-Chi running to them. Yes? Naruto asked. Here. Inside of these 4 capsules are some food for the trip, Chi-Chi said as she went to Naruto, Kaba, Kale, and Caulifla. Hey, what about me? Kappa asked. I assumed you already ate from the size of your stomach, Chi-Chi said, and everyone laughed at Kappa. Thank you, Chi-Chi, I'm sure this will be delicious, Naruto said. Oh, stop. You're just saying that, Chi-Chi said. Naruto, I look forward to seeing you again. Sorry I couldn't be around more, but I have responsibilities. Gohan said, extending his hand. No problem. Oh, and good luck with baby number 2. Naruto said, whispering the last part in his ear, and Gohan nearly fainted. Gohan? Why are you so pale? Videl asked. Videl, are you again? Gohan asked. I don't know. I've been feeling sick lately. Videl said, and Gohan gave her a big hug. What's going on? Kale asked. You'll see next time we see them. Naruto said. How do you know we'll see them again? Caulifla asked. Because Kaba has to show Vegeta around planet Sadala. Isn't that right, Kaba? Naruto asked. Oh yeah. I can't believe I forgot. Kaba said. We won't be coming there anytime soon. We have things to deal with here first before we go anywhere. Hopefully this time they'll both stay dead. Vegeta said. Oh, right. Frieza and the giant bug. Kaba said. Yo. Beerus. Kampa said. What is it? Beerus asked, and Kampa shot him with an energy blast before quickly leaving in the cube. Champaea. Beerus yelled. Universe 6. All right, we're finally back home. Caulifla said. You didn't enjoy your trip in Universe 7? Kampa asked. I enjoyed it, but nothing is better than home sweet home. Caulifla said. Hey, Caulifla? Kaba asked. Yes, Kaba? Caulifla asked. I was, wondering, since we're back in our own universe, that maybe you and I could, Kaba stuttered, trying to get his question out. What are you trying to ask me? Caulifla asked with a heavy blush on her face. For crying out loud. He wants to know if you'll go on a date with him. Naruto said, and Kaba blushed. Is that true? Caulifla asked. Yes. Kaba said. When? Caulifla asked. Just go now. This is ridiculous. Naruto said. Maybe you and Kale can come along. Caulifla said. Nope. Me and Kale are about to have some alone time. If you want to watch, I'll leave the ship unlocked. Naruto said, and Kale blushed. Let's go, Kaba. Caulifla said. Okay. Kaba said, and opened up his spaceship, then flew off after they got in. Sheesh. I was wondering when they'd finally get together. Naruto said. Me too. I'm happy for her. Kale said, and then squealed when Naruto suddenly scooped her up. You're about to be even more happy. Naruto said, and disappeared. I guess I'm going to sleep. Kampa said, and walked away. Naruto's spaceship /lemon start. The instant they were in the ship and it was locked, Kale made sure to activate the window covers so nobody could see inside, and jumped on Naruto. When she wrapped her legs around his waist and when he cuffed her ass, he could feel how wet she was and started to play with her pussy through the fabric of her clothes, making her moan and deepen the kiss. He walked over to his room and sat down, then she started moving her hips as she felt his dick through the pants he was wearing. She took his shirt off and soon his pants and boxers came next. He swiftly removed her clothes and she climbed back onto his lap. She moved her hips some more on his dick, getting her juices all over it, and she moaned into his mouth when he pinched her nipples and gave them a small twist. She kissed him as hard as she could, then positioned his dick at her entrance and slowly sank down on it. Oh fuck, that feels so good, she whispered in his ear. She started bouncing up and down on his dick, making them both moan into the kiss they had. She picked up speed and started going faster, making her have an orgasm, squirting all over his lap. His dick came out and he grabbed it and shoved it back inside of her, causing her to suck in a heavy, deep breath. He held her up by her ass and started fucking her just like she wanted, and she started to squirt again, but this time he stayed inside of her, making her ride out the orgasm as long as it lasted. She got off his lap and then got on her knees while latching her back and wiggling her ass at him. He went behind her, and in one swift motion he was buried balls deep inside of her, and although he couldn't see it, she started to drool at how good it felt. He started off slow, and then once he got his rhythm, it became hard and fast, just how she liked it. She started throwing her ass back when he came forward for extra pleasure and reached down and started to run her own clit. "I'm so close. Please fuck me harder. Tell me you're about to come. I want you to come with me." Kale moaned. "Yeah, I'm real close. Come for me, baby. Come for me," he said. He picked up speed and went even harder, and she couldn't hold back anymore, and neither could he. She bit the pillow that her face was buried in and let out a scream as she squirted as hard as she ever did. Once she started squirting, he buried himself deep inside of her, and he started to come as well. He fucked her a bit more before he pulled out, and when she turned around she saw how hard he still was and laid on her back with her legs in the air. Naruto quickly put his dick back inside, and he was just pounding into her hard and fast. She reached down and started to run her clit, and she began to come all over his dick. She looked at his dick going in and out of her and saw all of her come over his dick. She felt him speed up and go harder, letting her know he was close to his release. She rubbed her clit even faster and made eye contact with him, almost pleading for him to come with her. He went harder and faster, making her scream, and she was covered in sweat and her own juices. She squirted everywhere, and when Naruto pulled out, she grabbed his dick and stroked it hard and fast a few times before putting it back inside of her pussy. This time, Naruto pushed her legs behind her head, then started thrusting in and out at a fast and hard rate. Kale had her mouth open with her eyes completely white as they rolled to the back of her head. This lasted for 10 minutes until Kale squirted again and Naruto released a huge amount of cum deep inside of her that caused them both to transform into a Super Saiyan. Naruto pulled out and collapsed on the bed next to Kale, who cuddled into his chest. "Lemon end. I needed that," Kale said as she was breathing heavy. "Me too. It's been over a week since we last did it?" Naruto asked. "Nearly 2 weeks," Kale said, and they powered down. "Sorry," Naruto said and pulled her in for a kiss. "It's okay. It wasn't your fault. You did have the heart virus, and Chi-Chi made Bulma have us share a room with Caulifla," Kale said. "True," Naruto said, and Kale giggled. "Who would have thought that me and you would be like this when we were kids?" Kale asked. "Nobody. Well, you probably did, but I didn't. You were so quiet and shy up until a few months ago," Naruto said. "That's because I was always alone until I met you and then Caulifla," Kale said and yawned. "Let's get some sleep. I need to start training again," Naruto said, and Kale sighed. "Are you really going through with this?" Kale asked. "Yeah. Kappa can't do anything about it because the consequences would be worse if he destroyed Arceus, so I'm the next best option," Naruto said. "Why can't me and Caulifla help?" Kale asked. "I wouldn't be able to live with myself if anything were to happen to the both of you because of me. I know as kids we did everything together, but this is something I need to do alone," Naruto said. "I promise I won't get involved. Just promise me that you'll come back alive. I won't forgive you if you die," Kale said. "I promise," Naruto said and gave her a kiss. "Thank you," was all Kale said before sleep finally claimed her. "I'm going to end Arceus. If Vados wants to get involved, she better be prepared for the worst," Naruto said and created a dark purple sphere in his hand before canceling it. Unknown area. "My lord, I have news," a small servant said, running into a throne room. "What is it?" The person asked. I've just received word that there is a scion looking for you. He says he wants to kill you. The servant said. Really? A scion? Do not waste my time. I've no use to fight a weakling. The person said. This is no ordinary scion. Rumor has it that he's stronger than the god of destruction and even defeated a god after he was granted a seat at the table of deities. The servant said. Really? Then I must meet this scion. What is his name? The person asked. I do not know. I have sent out spies to try and figure out his name without giving up our location. The servant said. Good. Report back to me as soon as you figure out his name. The person said. Yes, sir. The servant said and left. So, a scion that was strong enough to defeat a god of destruction after he was granted a seat at the table. I guess it wouldn't hurt to add one more body to my collection. The person said. As he leaned forward, the light was able to show just a glimpse of his face, and it revealed pale blue skin and a red pupil. 117 Chapter 14 Search for Arches, New Enemy. Author's Note. I know. It took me forever to update, but I had so many ideas for the final arc of the story that I kept changing everything around. I didn't forget about the story, even though it seems like I have, since I've created like 3 stories since I made this one. Hope you enjoy it. I do not own Dragon Ball Z or any of its characters. 2 years have passed since the Tournament of Power and Naruto's journey to Universe 7. The now 25-year-old had one goal in his mind, and that was to find Arches, then kill him. He knew it wouldn't be easy since he's an angel and now Vados is involved. The only thing Naruto really did over the past 2 years was train and spend time with Kale, since she would force him to stop training. He never really trained in any of his Super Saiyan transformations since he wanted to raise his base power level. Over the 2 years he hasn't spoken a single word to Vados or any of the angels that would try to talk him out of it. He trained with Kappa mainly, who decided to teach him how to use the destruction energy, and it wasn't easy for Naruto at all. He was grateful for the training as he knew power wouldn't be enough to defeat Arches. He focused mainly on learning techniques that would help him in his fight, and he was not satisfied until he could do all of them effortlessly. Naruto and Kale also decided to live on Earth since that was Naruto's home, but with some help from Bulma, they were able to make their house more technologically advanced than what they had. Kale was awestruck at the different things she was able to do on Earth and dragged Naruto out quite a bit to see a movie or go to the carnival. Naruto also helped Kale train as well, since he wanted her to be ready for anything just in case Arches would send somebody after her. She was able to use Super Saiyan 3 without a problem and no longer lost control over her powers. Naruto and Kappa both trained her in using divine energy so she would be able to sense when a deity is close by. Through tough training with Naruto and Kappa, Kale was able to unlock the Super Saiyan God transformation, but she has problems accessing the transformation it will, unlike Naruto. However, she has made breakthroughs in her attempts to access it at will and is nearly there. The Omni Kings and Grand Priest were still against Naruto trying to kill Arches. They sent angels after Kevin to inform him of a meeting they're calling him for, but he refused everything and told them he wasn't a deity, so their rules don't apply to him. They tried to involve Kappa, but he told them he can't touch Naruto since he hasn't done anything wrong, and that it would be an abuse of his power, which was something they were against. Hit was hired to kill Naruto, but he declined the job. His power also increased, but he didn't know by how much. He never powered up to his max since he returned from Universe 7, and nobody could really push him to his limit. Kale at her max was only able to push him to Super Saiyan 2, but it wouldn't be near his max power in Super Saiyan 2, and Kappa was only able to make him go full power Super Saiyan 3. Caulifla wasn't around a lot since she was with Kappa since they started dating 2 years ago. He made 2 new friends when a spaceship landed on Earth in the area his house was located. The names were Kasa and Ruko. Kasa is a near-human-like humanoid with short white hair, thin white eyebrows, green skin, and a slender yet curvy build. She wears a white and purple outfit with a green half-circle under her chest, white gloves concealing purple rings on her cuffs, and white and green shoes with long purple socks. Her eyes are purple and her hair is short. Ruko is an orange-skinned humanoid wearing armor similar to saiyan armor, with no shoulder plates, white outlines, a green section on his torso, dark green slim trousers, a woolly hat, white gloves, and shoes that had green tips on the ends of them. He has large yellow eyes with slitted pupils. They met Naruto and immediately knew who he was since Frost put a bounty on his head, but it was taken down after Naruto killed Kogu, who was stronger than Frost. Word spread about Naruto killing Kogu and his bounty was erased since nobody wanted to take him on. Kasa and Ruko were part of Frost's crew, but they defected once they figured out he was starting wars and would profit off of them. Naruto and Kale welcomed them both with open arms into their house and they loved it. Kasa and Ruko knew about Naruto's goal of killing Archies and they surprised Naruto when they said he hired them for a few jobs before. Naruto asked where he was, but they told him he's constantly on the move and they can't detect his energy, so it's impossible to track him down. They told him that Archies finds whoever he's looking for and not the other way around. Then Naruto told them that he'll make sure to get his attention. Currently, Naruto and Kale were relaxing at home looking at the stars. Naruto. Kale said. Naruto asked. After you're done with Archies, then what will you do? Kale asked. That's when me and you can start a family. Kevin said, and she blushed. What if he doesn't find you? Kale asked. I'm sure he already knows who I am and that I'm looking for him. He's probably planning to test me on what I can do. Naruto said. I'll be by your side to help. Kale said. I can handle Archies myself. If he has anybody else with him, then you can fight. Naruto said. What about Vados? Kale asked. I'll deal with her whenever she shows up. Naruto said. Are you really going to fight her? Kale asked. She made it clear that she was going to stop me if I went after Archies. All she had to do was stay out of it, but she chose to get involved. The other angels are staying out of it, but she's willingly putting herself into this. Naruto said, and Kale sighed. I hope she comes around. Kale said. I don't really care if she does or doesn't. She made it abundantly clear that her being an angel is far more important than her family. Naruto said. If you could, would you kill her? Kale asked. If it came down to it, then yes. Naruto said, and then a spaceship came from outer space. Looks like Kasa and Ruko are back. Kale said, and when the ship landed, they fell out nearly dead. What the hell happened? Naruto said, as he and Kale picked them up. Ambush. Barely survived. Ruko said, and passed out. Let's get them in the rejuvenation tanks. Naruto said. I wonder who did this to them. Naruto thought. Naruto, we have to hurry. Kasa's pulse is faint. Kale said. Let's go. Naruto said, and they went inside, then put them in the rejuvenation tanks. What happened to them? They're strong enough to make me go Super Saiyan 2 when they team up. Kale said. I don't know. Naruto said. Do you think it was him? Kale asked. No. If it was him, then they'd be dead. Somebody else did this. Naruto said. How long will they be in there? Kale asked. A few hours. They'll be good to go in the morning. Naruto said. Maybe I should ask Kaba to look into it. Kale said. No. That would take too long. He has to go through all the proper paperwork and I don't have time for that. I'll get what I need from them when they wake up. Naruto said. Okay. I'll go get dinner started. Kale said. All right. I'm going to train a bit, Naruto said and gave her a kiss before leaving. Unknown area. Have you disposed of the two rats? A figure in the dark asked. No. They managed to do a last-minute trick and escaped. However, with their injuries they'll be dead before they can get help. A figure said. I see. Go and track them down just in case. I don't want any loose ends. Find them and make sure they're dead. Do not fail me, Eyes. The figure said. Of course, Lord Arceus. I shall assemble a team and head out immediately. I said. Good. Do not fail me. Arceus said and Eyes left. Pardon me, my liege. Perhaps those two are working for the scion that our spies have said is looking for you. A servant said. Perhaps, but if this scion is able to defeat all of the god of destruction and a god that was able to claim a seat at the table of deities, then he would have already confronted me. He would lose, of course, but he would still come to me. Have our spies found out anything else about him? Arceus asked. No. It seems he has just disappeared without a trace. We've sent spies across the entire galaxy, but each search has come up in failure. For all we know, he can be suppressing his power, and without any knowledge of what he looks like, we don't know if he's already been found or not. The servant said. Interesting. Call back all of our spies. Tell Eyes to locate our scion after he finishes cleaning up his mess. Arceus said. At once, my liege. The servant said and walked away. Interesting. This scion has caught my attention. No matter. He'll just be another body added to my collection. Arceus thought. Earth next day. Kale and Naruto were patiently waiting for Kasa and Ruko to emerge from the rejuvenation tanks as they should be out soon. Kale went into town early in the morning and purchased a lot of food since she had to cook for 2 scions and 2 more people who could also eat their share of food. After she was done shopping, she made a huge breakfast and Naruto quickly ate his food. As always, he complimented Kale on her cooking skills, which always made her blush. All right. Time's up, Naruto said as the rejuvenation tanks started to drain. Cover your eyes, Kale said. Why? Naruto asked. Because I had to put Kasa in here completely naked since her clothes were torn to shreds and I didn't want to waste any time getting new ones for her. Kale said. I get that, but why do I have to close my eyes if you're standing there with a towel blocking my view? Naruto asked and just looked at him. You guys can stop arguing. I'm covered up now, Kasa said as she had the towel wrapped around her. Oh man. I feel like I just finished training with Naruto. Ruko said. What happened to you guys? Naruto asked. We were going around finishing up our last few jobs so we could settle down here on Earth finally, but our last job went wrong. Ruko said. We never meet the people we work for. We just pick jobs and do them. We were nearly done with our last job. Just a simple relocation job, but we were ambushed by a large group of bandits. We managed to take all of them out except for one. Kasa said. This guy destroyed us and looked like he wasn't even trying. We barely escaped and got lucky when the sun came out. Kasa used that solar flare technique you taught her and blinded the guy, giving us time to use our ship and escape. Ruko said. The thing is, he said his master has been planning to kill us for years. Apparently we were becoming too expensive for his tastes and he doesn't like it when people force his hand to get more money out of him. Kasa said. What was his name? Kale asked. Eyes. He's from the same race as Frost, but he's a lot deadlier. Kasa said. Did he tell you the name of his master? Naruto asked, and they both looked at each other. Yeah. He works for Archies. Casa said. I see. Naruto said. You aren't going to do anything reckless, are you? Casa asked. No. He'll find me when it's time for us to fight. I'm sure he's aware of me. Naruto said. I thought you didn't want him fighting on Earth. Casa said. He won't be able to find me on Earth. Naruto said. Why not? Your power level just screams come and get me. Ruko said, and Naruto chuckled. After I found out that life was back to normal on Earth, I went to Namek and got a guardian for Earth. I used the Dragon Balls to make everyone on Earth undetectable to anyone who tries to come here with evil intentions. Naruto said. What if they get on the planet? Won't they be able to detect us? Casa asked. No. I used the last wish to make the Earth invisible to anyone with evil intentions. This is my home and I don't want it destroyed. Naruto said. That's actually pretty smart. I thought Kale was the smart one. Casa said, and Kale giggled. Hey! I have my moments. Naruto said. Yeah. So, what do we have to eat? I'm starving. Casa said. There's breakfast in the kitchen. I kept it warm for the two of you. Kale said. Did the bottomless pit eat already? Ruko asked. Yes, but I made sure to cook enough for all of us to eat. Kale said. Thank you. Your cooking always brightens my day, Kale. Ruko said. Thank you, Ruko. Kale said. Hey, this fine piece of ass and wonderful cook belongs to me. Compliment your own girlfriend. Naruto said, as he picked up Kale and made her blush. I would, but she can't cook. Ruko mumbled, and Casa punched him on his head. I can cook. Casa said, and walked out of the room. I was just kidding. Ruko said, and followed her out. So, you want to go see a movie? Kale asked. How about we go into my spaceship? Naruto asked. I thought we weren't training today. Kale said, and Naruto gave her a big kiss. I never said anything about training. Naruto said, and Kale blushed. Movie afterwards? Kale asked. If you're awake. Naruto said, and pinched her, but making her squeal as they vanished. Few hours later. Wow. Best sex ever. Kale said, as she was sprawled out on top of Naruto with her hair everywhere and taking deep breaths. Yeah. You brought your A game. Naruto said, and gave Kale a kiss. Your lips taste like me. Kale said, and gave Naruto another kiss. Given the amount of times I went down on you, I would be surprised if they didn't. Naruto said. I guess you're right. Kale said, and then a screen popped up revealing an incoming call. Who is it? Naruto asked. It's Caulifla. Kale said, and answered as Caulifla popped up on the screen. Hey, guys. Caulifla said. Hi. Kale said. Sup? Naruto said. Not much. I figured I'd call and say hi. Why haven't I been invited to Earth yet? Caulifla asked. Well, you're too busy with Kaba, and we haven't really talked to you since we came back from Universe 7. Naruto said. I guess you're right. Hey, Kale. Why is your hair all messy? You usually have it tied up. Caulifla said. That's because we just finished our usual 6 hours of sex. Naruto said. 6 hours? What the hell? How aren't you pregnant yet? Caulifla asked, and Kale blushed a deep red color. Well, with everything going on with Archies, Kale doesn't want me to get her pregnant, so I pull out. Naruto said. So you're both laying down covered in cum? Caulifla asked. No. Naruto said. Then if you pull out, where does it go? Caulifla asked. This girl. Naruto thought. Well, if you really want to know, then I'll tell you. Kale likes to. Naruto was stopped when Kale covered his mouth. Stop. Don't tell her. Kale said, and Naruto nodded. Okay. Anyway, Naruto. Think you can pick me up in a few? Caulifla asked. Sure. Me and Kale need to take a shower first. Naruto said. Are you going to actually shower? Caulifla asked. Of course we are. I'll be there in an hour. Naruto said. Okay. Caulifla said and hung up. Well, let's go get cleaned up. Kale said and walked away. A few rounds in the shower wouldn't hurt. Naruto thought. 4 hours later. What the hell took you so long? Caulifla asked as she was glaring at Naruto and Kale. We had to take a shower. Naruto said. For 4 hours? Caulifla asked. Well, not exactly. Kale said and blushed. That's disgusting. Caulifla said. It's part of life. So what's with the visit? I thought you were going to be Kaba for a while. Kale said. I was, but his dumbass picked up a mission that would keep him busy for 3 months. I figured I'd come see you guys since it's been a while. Caulifla said. Nice to see we were thrown to the back burner. Naruto said. It's not like you guys come to visit me. Caulifla said. Well, I'm still banned from planet Sadala and Kale doesn't want to sit in a spaceship for almost 4 days. Naruto said. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Caulifla said. So, how long has Kaba been gone? Kale asked. About 2 weeks. It's weird. He usually does this checking in thing to let me know he's okay, but I haven't heard from him. Caulifla said, causing Kale and Naruto to look at each other. Maybe he's busy. Kale said, and then Naruto flew up into the air, stopping a spaceship from crash landing. I see why Kaba hasn't contacted her. Naruto thought as he landed. That's Kaba's ship. Caulifla said and ran towards the ship. What happened? Kale asked as Naruto grabbed Kaba out of the ship. I was attacked. Kaba said. By who? Naruto asked. His name was Eyes. Kaba said and fainted. Eyes. Kale, take him to the rejuvenation tanks. I need to see something. Naruto said. Okay. Come on, Caulifla. Kale said and they flew away. Naruto walked over to Kaba's ship and took the video feed out, then went to his spaceship. Naruto installed the video and then watched everything that happened. Kaba was scouting around on a planet that Naruto didn't recognize when somebody showed up. Kaba was confronted by the person who asked about Kasa and Ruko, but Kaba denied knowing anybody by those names. The attacker revealed his name to be Eyes. Eyes was from the same race as Frost and Frisia, but was a lot different than those two. Eyes defeated Kaba in his third form, but Naruto could tell he was still holding back strength. Eyes had black skin like Frost with white armor on his body, but he had dark eyes with a red pupil, red lines on his chest and face, and what Naruto guessed as blue orbs on his head and shoulders. Kaba was able to force him into his third form when he went Super Saiyan 2, but it wasn't enough. Kaba only escaped when Eyes started bragging, giving Kaba the chance to blast him away and escape with his ship. So that's Eyes. I can't say I'm shocked by his behavior. He is from the same race as Frisia and Frost. However, his fighting style is straightforward. He's all brute with no brains, which is different from how Frost and Frisia fight. If Kappa was able to force him into his third form as a full-power Super Saiyan 2, then Kale or Caulifla should be able to deal with him, but that's not happening. Naruto said, and then felt two arms wrap around him. You're not leaving now, are you? Kale asked. No. I'll deal with him when he gets closer to Earth. I'll take Kasa and Ruko with me on their ship since they're the ones he's after. I'll take him to a different planet and then send them back. After I'm done with him, I'll come back and then wait for the right time to go fight Archies. Naruto said. You know where he is? Kale asked. Yeah. I was able to sense his power over the past 2 years, and I must say it's quite impressive. Naruto said. Don't die. I'm sure you remember what I said if you die. Kale said, and Naruto chuckled. I know. You'd revive me and kill me yourself. You know, you've done a complete 180 from how you were 2 years ago. Naruto said, and Kale smiled. That's because you forced me to come out of my shell. Kale said. I just had you go out and talk to a few people on the planet. Naruto said. I'm still amazed at how friendly the people here are. Especially the girls. Kale said. At least you have friends to hang out with. That way you don't have to be with me all the time. Naruto said, and Kale pouted. But I like being with you. Kale said. I know. Naruto said, and gave her a kiss that got heated until Caulifla walked in. Ugh. Do you guys ever take a break? Caulifla asked. A day in between unless it's that time for Kale. You're more than welcome to join if you'd like. Naruto jokes, causing Kale to hold in her laughter as Caulifla blushed as well as having blood coming from her nose. What? No. Caulifla said. The blood coming from your nose says otherwise. Naruto said, and Caulifla wiped her nose, making Kale giggle. He's just joking, Caulifla. So, how's Kappa doing? Kale asked. He had multiple marks on his body like he was hit by that creep Frisia's death beam, but only to torture him. They're slowly healing, and he was grunting in pain at the slightest touch from anything. Caulifla said, and Kale gave her a hug. He'll be fine, Caulifla. Kale said, and Caulifla wiped her eyes. A few years ago, I was the one comforting you over Naruto. Look at me all soft and shit. I'm going to kick Kappa's ass for making me like this. Caulifla said. It wouldn't be hard since you're a lot stronger than him. Naruto said. Why don't you train him? Caulifla asked. Not happening. Naruto said. Why not? You trained me and Kale. Caulifla said. True, but he has this personal vendetta against me ever since I embarrassed him when I had that stupid trial a few years ago. I hurt his pride, and he apparently thinks he has to beat me in order to restore his pride. Naruto said. Well, can you train me again? I want to become Super Saiyan Blue. Caulifla said. It won't be easy. Asked Kale. Naruto said. She can go Super Saiyan Blue? Caulifla asked. No. She can use the Super Saiyan God transformation. She probably can use the Super Saiyan Blue transformation if she tried, but she doesn't want to sacrifice speed for power and a severe stamina strain, so she wants to unlock something else. Naruto said. What could you possibly want to achieve? Caulifla asked. Remember when Vegeta called me the legendary Super Saiyan during the Tournament of Power? Kale asked. Yeah. What about it? Caulifla asked. I want to combine that with Super Saiyan God. Kale said. Well, I won't be left behind. Teach me how to go Super Saiyan Blue. I'll surpass the regular Super Saiyan Blue form and then beat Goku. Caulifla said. Just because you surpass Super Saiyan Blue doesn't mean you'll be able to beat Goku. While you may acquire the power to beat him, Goku has years of fighting experience and I can tell he's been fighting since he was a kid. Naruto said. Is that why Kaba is able to beat me sometimes even though I'm stronger than him? Caulifla asked. Yeah. Up until the Tournament of Power, you've never fought an actual fight against people who were stronger than you. It's why you lost to Goku as Kefla. He may have been low on stamina, but he knows how to pace himself in a fight against strong opponents. I'll be honest with you. If he was fully recovered then, he could have easily defeated the two of you. Naruto said. I understand that, but as Kefla we forced Goku to use his Kaioken X20 on top of his Super Saiyan Blue. Caulifla said. That's true, but you also failed to realize Goku was fighting against you and himself. That Kaioken technique puts a strain on the body and it was combined with Super Saiyan Blue. Add in how drained he was after Jiren fought him and he was basically running on fumes pushing himself to the limit and beyond that. Naruto said. Then how do I gain experience? Caulifla asked. Simple. You fight different opponents. You're lucky though since I'm sure Arceus has multiple people working under him, so you and Kale can fight them while I deal with Arceus. Naruto said. Alright. How long did it take Kale to use Super Saiyan God? Caulifla asked. 6 months. Naruto said. That's it? Caulifla asked. It was the worst 6 months of my life. Kale said and shivered. Why? Caulifla asked. Because you need to learn how to use an entirely different type of ki. I'll need to train you in using diving ki. Naruto said. How do I do that? Caulifla asked. All that ki you exert when powering up needs to not leak out per se. The secret to obtaining divine ki is to power up while keeping your ki within your body to prevent it from creating an aura. Naruto said. What's so hard about that? Caulifla asked. It's hard for us because we have so much ki that we need to keep inside of our body. If we learned this as kids, then it would have been a piece of cake. You two have it easier than me because I had to figure out the secret on my own while I was training with Kappa and Vados. Naruto said. Nice. So, when do we get started? Caulifla asked. We'll start tomorrow. Naruto said and walked away. I hope you know what you've just done, Caulifla. Kale said. What? Caulifla asked. Remember how he was during our training in Universe 7? Kale asked. Yeah. Caulifla said. It makes that training look like baby steps. Kale said and Caulifla paled. Oh fuck me. Caulifla said and Kale just placed a hand on her shoulder. I'll keep the rejuvenation tanks ready for you. Kale said and walked away. Naruto. I know you're there. Naruto said. Seems you've gotten better at detecting angels, Naruto. Makarita said. I am closing in on your level of strength. It's only fitting that I'm able to detect you. Naruto said. Don't get too cocky. I can still defeat you easily. Makarita said. Whatever. Why are you here? Naruto asked. It's been a while since we've seen each other. I was passing by and figured I'd drop in and say hello. Makarita said. Vados told you to come and try to change my mind, didn't she? Naruto asked and Makarita sighed. Yes. She's thinking of any way possible to have you give up your search for Arceus. Makarita said. What about everyone else? Naruto asked. The other angels are on her side except for me and Cuz. You have power that surpasses all of the gods and most low-ranked angels, but you haven't done anything wrong. I tried to explain to her that rules of a deity do not apply to you since you're a mortal being. Makarita said. I see. What if Kampa was to kill Arceus instead of me? Would he face punishment as well? His job as god of destruction is to destroy anything he deems unnecessary or a threat to his universe. How would the Grand Priest and the two idiots react? Naruto asked. That is the question I presented to the Grand Priest once, and I have yet to receive an answer. Have you located Archies at all? Makurita asked. Nope. I've just been training and having fun with friends. Naruto said. I see. I'll give you a little word of advice for Archies if you want to defeat him. Makurita said. The key to defeating an angel is that you must essentially become one yourself. Makurita said. I can't become an angel unless I die and get reincarnated as an angel, and I highly doubt that will happen given how I am towards the Grand Priest and Zeno. Naruto said. Yes, then that means you must come up with a power far greater than your own that makes you detach yourself from raw emotions and worldly concerns. You must become a being of pure intention. Makurita said. I already do that when I use Ultra Instinct. Shouldn't that be enough? Naruto asked. No. Ultra Instinct doesn't require the use of Divine Ki. A mortal who has never been trained in the use of Divine Ki can also learn to use Ultra Instinct. It's just so rare amongst the gods that many deities believe that only beings such as angels and gods can learn it. Makurita said. So, I need a form that possesses Divine Ki, but has the same principles as Ultra Instinct. Super Saiyan form mixed with Ultra Instinct is out of the question. Naruto said. You're on the right track. Now, I must be going. Belmont is waiting for me. Makurita said. Wait. Before you go, I need you to answer something for me. Naruto said. What would that be? Makurita asked. Why are you helping me? Shouldn't you be against me trying to kill somebody who's like your brother? Naruto asked. Archie stopped being an angel and my brother the moment he killed his first mortal. Makurita said. If killing mortals is so bad for an angel, then why is the Grand Priest against me killing Archies? Naruto asked. 2 reasons. 1. He's a bit frightened and concerned that you may actually discover a way to kill an angel, and that would seriously hurt his pride as the Grand Priest as well as our beliefs that an angel cannot be killed. Makurita said. What's the second reason? Naruto asked. Archies was the Grand Priest's first son, and up until everything that happened with the other universes attacking the Omni King, Archies was hand-chosen by the Grand Priest to replace him when he decided to step down. Makurita said. I see. Thanks for the help. Naruto said and gave her a capsule. What's this? Makurita asked. It's a capsule filled with food. Just press the button and you'll have an entire feast big enough for me in front of you. If you thought my cooking was good, just wait until you try what Kale prepared. Naruto said. Thank you. That is most kind of you. Makurita said and then left in a pillar of light. A new form that has the principles of Ultra Instinct, but also has the power that essentially makes me an angel. Naruto thought. Who was that? Kasa asked as she walked over to Naruto. Makurita. Naruto said. One of the angels you told me about? Why was she here? I thought all of the angels basically hate you right now. Kasa said. Only 2 of them don't hate me. Makurita is one of them. She was just giving me some friendly advice and an idea. Naruto said. About what? Kasa asked. About how I can defeat Archies. Naruto said. Aren't you strong enough to defeat him now? Kasa asked. No. His power still dwarfs mine. I'm able to detect how much power a person has no matter how hard they try to suppress it. With my current strength, I'm only able to force him to use about 25% of his power. I need to train, but there's only one place for me to train and to get what I need. Naruto said. What's the place? Casa asked. The hyperbolic time chamber. Naruto said. Can I join you? I want to get stronger as well. Casa said. No. This is something I need to do alone. Tell Kale that I'll be gone for a few days. Naruto said. What about Caulifla? She's been going on and on about how you were going to train her tomorrow. Casa said. Tell her it's been postponed for a few days. Naruto said and flew away. Outer space. Your time is running out, Eyes. Why have you not located the two rats and disposed of them? Archie said, as he was on a video call with Eyes and he did not look happy. Forgive me, my liege. It's like they've completely vanished from existence. We managed to find the trail of their ship, but after a while, the search went cold. All of my tracker units have also come up empty-handed. I've taken the best men plus the fastest ships I could find with me, and they can't find anything after a while. Not even the tiniest trace. I said. I see. Have your men tried spreading out across the galaxies? Archies asked. Yes. I had them spread out in the north, east, south, and west quadrants. Everyone reports back there's no trace of them. Perhaps with your superior skills you can sense them. I said, and Archies tried, but he failed to find them. That is odd. I can't seem to find them either. Perhaps it's time for me to pay a certain visit to a certain cat. Keep up your search and report back if anything changes. Archies said. There's one thing that may interest you, my liege. I said. What is it? Archies asked. During my search, I encountered a scion who was able to transform into what he called a super scion. I said. A super scion, huh? Tell me, was it the same scion who was after my head? Archies asked. No. This scion said his name was Kaba. The scion looking for you is known as Naruto. I said. How did you obtain this information? Archies asked. I tortured him for this information. He managed to escape and then his energy disappeared like the two rats I'm after. I said. I see. Do me a favor, go to planet Sadala and talk to the leader of this planet. He's the leader of the Scions. Find out anything you can from him or anyone on that planet about Naruto and Kaba. Archies said. What if they refuse to give up the information? Eyes asked. Kill them. I don't like loose ends or people who disobey me. Archies said. Of course. I'll head to Sadala immediately. I said AMD. Archies hung up. Master Eyes, what are my orders? A crew member asked. Set course for planet Sadala. I said. Yes, sir. The crew member said. Planet Sadala. King Borgas was sitting on his throne staring at the sunset and had a calm look on his face. All of a sudden, the candles on his throne room that lit up the room suddenly went out and a cold chill went up his spine. He had no idea what it meant, but he didn't want to wait to find out. He had a bad feeling about this planet as if it were suddenly surrounded by a shroud of darkness. King Borgas. We have an emergency. A scion called. What is it? Borgas asked. There are multiple unknown spaceships approaching planet Sadala. The scion said. How long before they get here? Borgas asked. A few hours. The scion said. I see. Send word to all scions that we are to prepare for anything. Borgas said. By anything you can't possibly mean that, can you? The scion asked. I'm afraid so. The sun has set on planet Sadala for the last time. This is the endgame for us. This will be our final stand. Borgas said. Then if that is the case, I will fight until I am no longer breathing. It has been an honor serving you, my king. The scion said and left, but the Rinso came into the room. You sensed it too? Borgas said. Yes. I am ready to defend this planet with my life. Rinso said. No. You still have family left. I want you to gather all the doctors and scientists we have and send them to planet Earth. Naruto will be there for them and give them a home. We have no children on Sadala anymore due to the virus that wiped out half of our people over the past 2 years. Have the doctors gather every medical supply they can and all food they can. Take the biggest ship we have and get out of here. Borgas said. I can do that, but I am not going on the ship. I joined the Sadala Defense Force to protect my home, and if it is the last stand for us, then I will rest peacefully in the afterlife knowing I defended it with everything I had. Rinso said and walked out. Few hours later, King Borgas was standing in front of the remaining scions on planet Sadala and patiently waited for the enemy to show up. All of the doctors and scientists we all gathered on his orders and sent away to Earth to meet up with Naruto. Rinso did not go on that ship as Borgas ordered him to, and he was standing right behind Borgas. Rinso knew Cauliflo would be pissed at him, so he sent her a message as his final goodbye, and Dr. Prika promised that she'd give her the message. Only one enemy ship landed while the rest remained in space, and Aiz walked out followed by his guards. I am here to speak to the leader of this planet. Where's the one known as Borgas? Aiz asked. That would be me. Who are you? Borgas asked. I am known as Aiz, and I seek information in regards to 2 of your scions. My master would highly appreciate it if you told us what we want to know. I said. Who is your master? Borgas asked. I am not at liberty to say his name freely without his permission. I said. I see. What scions are you seeking information on? Borgas asked. Kaba and Naruto are their names? I said. I am not giving up the whereabouts of any scion. Borgas said. To hell with that. That criminal Naruto is located on. The scion who interrupted was stopped when Rinso killed him. We do not give up information regarding any scion. You're wasting your time. Rinso said. That's too bad. I was hoping we could settle this peacefully. You'll be hearing from me again. I said and boarded his ship as it flew away. That was easier than I thought. Rinso said. It's not over. Everyone stand guard. Borgas said, and every remaining scion prepared for anything. Ai's ship. What will we do now? A servant asked. It's simple. I'm going to kill them all. There will be no more planet Sadala after today. I said. Wouldn't it be easier to torture one of them to get the information? A servant asked. No. The remaining scions were mentally tough and would rather die than sell out one of their own. What we do know is that Naruto is a criminal to his own people, or at least some of them. I said. Then let's recruit them instead. It'll give us more troops and help in our search. The servant said. No. They are a species that is comprised of warriors, and if any of them has the same power as Kaba, then our search will be over before we can finish it. It's always best to put a sleeping beast down before it can be awakened. I said. Aiz went to the open hatch of his spaceship and gathered enough energy in his attack that could destroy 2 planets. All the scions on Sadala felt a rise in energy and prepared their own attacks to try and save their planet, but they all knew deep down that it was pointless. Aiz threw his attack and watched as it went toward Sadala at a fast rate, but only to be met with resistance. However, that resistance didn't last long as his attack pushed forward, and eventually planet Sadala and everyone remaining on it was reduced to ashes. I feel so much better now. I said and went back into his ship. Sir, Lord Arceus is awaiting on call for our results. A servant said. Transfer the call to me. I said, and then Arceus appeared on a screen. How was your search, Eyes? Arceus asked. The Saiyans refused to give up any information on Kaba or Naruto. However, one of them was about to give up information on Naruto's whereabouts, but he was killed by one of his fellow Saiyans. I blew up planet Sadala and got rid of the Saiyan race. The only two left are Kaba and Naruto. I said. I see. Continue your search. Spread out as far as possible. I want this Naruto character to be found and brought to me. Arceus said and hung up. Earth 2 days later. Kale, Caulifla, Kaba, Ruko, and Kaso were hanging around after a hard day of training when the three Saiyans felt multiple familiar key signatures closing in on them. They looked at each other confused about what was going on, and that's when the ship landed. Multiple Saiyan doctors and scientists exited the ship on an unfamiliar planet. Dr. Prika was the last to come out of the ship, and when she saw the three familiar faces, she quickly ran over to them. Kaba, Kale, Caulifla. Thank goodness we found you. Where's Naruto? Dr. Prika asked. Why? You didn't get enough of him last time? Caulifla asked and glared at her. Relax, Caulifla. Why do you need Naruto? Kale asked. It's important that all of you hear this. Dr. Prika said. What is it? Kaba asked. It's planet Sadala. Dr. Prika said. What about it? Kale asked. It's gone. It was destroyed. Dr. Prika said. What? Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba yelled. Before we were too far away from the planet, our scientists managed to hack into one of the ships of the enemy. Somebody named Eyes destroyed the planet with a single attack. Dr. Prika said. Damn it. Why would he do that? Kaba asked. He was looking for information on you and Naruto. King Borgos sent all of us here to survive and keep the Saiyan race alive. Dr. Prika said. I'm going to kill Eyes. Kaba said. Wait. What about my brother? Where's Rinso? Caulifla asked. He wrote this for you and wanted me to tell you he loved you more than anything. He also said it's up to Kaba now to keep you safe. Dr. Prika said, as she gave Caulifla a letter, who quickly read it and broke down in tears. He doesn't want to be revived with the Dragon Balls. That idiot. He was the only family I had left. Caulifla said, and Kale gave her a hug. He wiped all of them out with ease. It was like he wasn't even trying. Dr. Prika said. I'm going after him. He treated me like a joke, and that is something I won't stand for. Kaba said. That's why you'll lose to him again. Naruto said, as he appeared. How long have you been there? Kaba asked. I just got here, and before you say anything, I already know about Sadala. I felt it when it happened. Naruto said. Then what do I do? I can't let this go on any longer. Kaba said. You do nothing. You're not strong enough even with the boost in power a Saiyan gets after they recover from a hard battle. I can sense that Eyes isn't alone. Me and Caulifla will go. Naruto said. What about me? Kale asked. We need somebody to show our guests around the planet. Kaba needs to be shown around as well. Now, Caulifla. Let's go kick some ass. Naruto said. Oh hell yeah. Caulifla said and grabbed his shoulder, then they vanished. Planet Gallifrey. Caulifla and Naruto arrived on planet Gallifrey, but it was different from what Caulifla was taught about the planet. Gallifrey was supposed to be filled with life, but it was pretty much a barren wasteland. All she could see was skeletons from decayed corpses that were on the ground and broken buildings. It was a civil war. Naruto said. Huh? Caulifla asked. A civil war happened. Kappa told me about it. I didn't ask for many details, but I convinced him to keep the planet. There is still plant life and some animals on the planet, but no people living here. Life can be rebuilt here, but it just takes time for things like that to happen. Naruto said. I understand. It sounds like Kappa is training you to take his spot if he's teaching you all of this on top of using destruction energy. Caulifla said. Maybe. Now, power up to Super Saiyan. Naruto said. Why? Caulifla asked. Because Aiz is close to the planet, but he won't come unless he detects a high power level. He may be looking for me, but I'm sure his main objective is to fight Cabba. If you raise your power to that of Cabba's, he'll come right here. Once he's here, you take out his entire fleet. I'll deal with him myself. Naruto said. After this is over, you better train me to become Super Saiyan Blue. Caulifla said, as she started to power up and did this for a few seconds until Naruto spoke up. He was closer than I thought. He's already here. Naruto said, and Caulifla stopped powering up. So, how are we going to handle this? Caulifla asked, as they saw a lone figure floating down to them. I'm going to send you up there with my instant transmission. I'm able to move objects by sensing another power level to send them to. Now, go kick some ass and make sure you destroy every single ship up there. Naruto said and placed a hand on her shoulder. You got it. Caulifla said and then vanished as Aiz finally landed. So, you must be Aiz. Naruto said. I see my reputation gets around. I said. I didn't know who you were until about a week ago. You hardly have a reputation in my book. Naruto said. Who are you? Aiz asked. The person who's going to kill your master. Naruto said and I smirked. Ah. So, you're Naruto. You don't seem like much. I said. Looks can be deceiving. However, if you need a demonstration, all you have to do is ask. Naruto said. Before Aiz could even blink, Naruto already punched in the face twice, kneed him in the gut and kicked him in the chin. Aiz was sent flying into a building and landed hard on the ground. As soon as Aiz stood up, Naruto smacked him away with a large piece of rubble. Aiz slowly stood up and wiped the blood off of his face. He glared at Naruto with pure hatred in his eyes and raised his power level, which was about the same as Cabba when he powers up to his maximum in Super Saiyan 2. Aiz flew quickly at Naruto and punched him in the face with all of his strength, but Naruto didn't even flinch from the punch. Aiz was fully enraged since Naruto was making him look like a joke and fired a point-blank energy blast at his face that he followed up with multiple death beams that created a smoke cloud. Aiz decided he wasn't finished as he fired a death cannon at Naruto and watched on as it caused a huge explosion. As he was standing there smirking at his work, he never noticed Naruto standing right behind him until it was too late. Naruto grabbed Aiz by the back of his neck and slammed him face first into the ground before he threw him into the air, which he followed up by hitting him with a majestic grenade. Naruto was not finished since he grabbed Aiz by his tail, then began slamming him into any building he could find considering how much everything was destroyed, and finally finished it with a barrage of punches that made Aiz look like a punching bag. I will not be made a mockery of. Aiz yelled. Aiz powered to his maximum and transformed into what he calls his perfect form. Not much changed except for him gaining 6 spikes on his head and he grew shoulder pads. Naruto simply powered up to Super Saiyan and then caught a punch from Aiz, who was shocked since nobody has ever caught a punch while he was in his perfect form. They vanished and started trading punches, kicks and energy blasts that caused shockwaves all around the area they were fighting in. As they were fighting, Naruto noticed Aiz was starting to get exhausted and figured Aiz must not use this form a lot, so he isn't used to it. Naruto smirked and blasted Eyes in the face, which took out one of his eyes. Naruto was actually bored with this fight and decided to end it. Naruto powered up to Super Saiyan 2 and easily pummeled Eyes into the ground, causing him to drop out of his perfect form. Naruto grabbed Eyes, threw him in the air, and then charged up a Rose Typhoon before firing it at Eyes. The blast was so powerful that it took out the remaining airships that Eyes had with him. "So, I'm guessing you won," Caulifla said, as she landed next to him in her Super Saiyan 2 form. "I was honestly disappointed. Somebody like Eyes couldn't have been the strongest Arceus had to offer. I only went Super Saiyan 2 so I can finish him quickly. How was the fight on your end? I see you're in Super Saiyan 2. Naruto said. "Yeah. His crew wasn't that bad actually. It was just a lot of them that I had to take out. None of them got away and all of the ships were destroyed," Caulifla said. "Good. We start training next week. I'm giving you some time to get used to the Earth and learn how everything is ran. You might become friends with some people Kale knows," Naruto said. "Me? We'll see. Now, let's go back. I want to take a hot bath," Caulifla said. "Sure," Naruto said and grabbed Caulifla before vanishing. Earth. "So, the people on Earth don't have rejuvenation tanks?" Dr. Prika asked. "Nope. We were pretty advanced in technology compared to them. Like our spaceships don't require a spacesuit or anything since we were able to find a way to keep oxygen flowing inside the ship," Kale said. "Advanced is an understatement. We're light years ahead of them in technology and medicine. What are these little capsules you have laying around?" Dr. Prika asked. "Those are capsules that can store just about anything in them. A simple click is all it takes to release whatever is inside," Kale said. "Can I open this one?" Prika asked, holding up a red capsule. "No." Kale yelled and snatched it away. "Sorry," Dr. Prika said. "No. It's just that this is stuff for me and Naruto. It would be embarrassing if you saw it," Kale said and blushed. Oh. I see. Anyway, do you think they would hire us to help them out? I mean, we have scientists and doctors," Prika said. "I know a few doctors and scientists. I can talk to them for you if you'd like. They might be awestruck by what you can do, but they've seen Naruto fly, so nothing should really shock them if I say you're a friend of ours," Kale said. "Thank you, and I apologize for the incident a few years ago at my office," Prika said. "It's okay. It's water under the bridge. I can't be mad at something that happened in the past. It's not like me and Naruto were together anyway," Kale said. "I just felt like I should apologize," Prika said. "No worries. Now, let's get you to the mall for some new clothes," Kale said. "What's wrong with what I have on?" Prika asked. "You're wearing a lab coat and dress pants with a button-up shirt. You don't have to wear that every day to let people know you're a doctor. You can wear regular clothes now. Even Naruto has regular clothes that he wears. Who knows, maybe we can find you a boyfriend at the mall," Kale said, and Prika blushed. I don't need a boyfriend. I just want to focus on work," Prika said. "You're nearly 30 and you haven't had a decent boyfriend. I think you should give it a shot. Let loose. Have a little fun. Tell you what. How about me, you, Caulifla, Casa, and any other girl that is here go out for drinks sometime?" Kale asked. "I don't know. I'm not much of a drinker," Prika said. "Neither am I, but it doesn't hurt to socialize," Kale said, and Prika sighed. "Okay. Fine," Prika said. "Yes." Kale said, and then Naruto returned with cauliflower. Yo! Naruto said. What's up, girls? Cauliflower asked. Kale planned a girls' night and wants to go drinking. Prika said, and cauliflower cheered. Hell yeah! I'm so in. When do we go? Cauliflower asked. Let's go next week after you all get used to Earth. Kale said. While you plan your girls' night out, I'm going to train. Naruto said and was about to fly away, but Kale grabbed him. How about you relax for a few hours with us? Kale suggested. I can't. There's something important that I need to do. It's something I need to beat Archies, and I need to train every day. Naruto said, and Kale sighed. How long will you be gone this time? Kale asked. I'll be back by the morning. Naruto said. What training are you working on? Cauliflower asked. It's a secret. Dr. Prika, it was nice seeing you again. Naruto said and flew off. You two didn't have an argument, did you? Prika asked. Huh? Oh no. He trains a lot and I know he's like the third strongest in our universe, but I still worry he might get seriously hurt. Kale said. Don't worry. He'll be fine. Cauliflower said. I guess you're right. Cauliflower, let's go make dinner. Kale said. I can't exactly cook. I'm sure you remember the last time. Cauliflower said. I'll help. It's the least I can do. Prika said. Are you sure? It's a lot of food we have to make. Kale said. I'm sure. I'm sure 2 people cooking is better than 1. Prika said. If you insist. Follow me. Kale said. Hey, wait. What about me? Cauliflower said. Take a bath with Kaba. I'm sure you'd enjoy that. Kale said and flew off with Dr. Prika. That is a good idea. Hey, Kaba. Get your ass over here. Cauliflower said. Planet Arda. Sire. I have terrible news. A servant said. What is it? Archies asked. Aiz and his entire crew have been killed. All ships have been destroyed. The servant said. I see. Do you know who did it? Archies asked. I'm afraid not, my liege. Since his entire fleet of ships were destroyed, we were unable to access any video footage from the fight. The servant said. That is interesting. What planet was he last on? Archies asked. The last recorded location is planet Gallifrey. The servant said. Send a search party and gather any evidence of who did this. Archies said. Of course, my liege. Permission to speak freely? The servant asked. It better be good. Archies said. Perhaps the one who did this is the scion that is foolishly looking for you. Perhaps you should call in those 3 for extra protection just in case. As we know, scions grow after every battle, and this one had the power to defeat a god after he was granted a seat at the table of deities. I'm not saying he can defeat you, but it is a possibility and something you should look into. This scion seems quite unusual compared to the others if he is able to gather this much strength to rival even the weakest of angels. The servant said. Although I am certain I can defeat this scion with my eyes closed, call the 3 of them in. Tell them to remain on the ship until I return and give them their assignment. Archies said. Of course, my liege. May I know where you are going to tell them just in case they get curious? The servant asked. I'm going to pay a visit to an old friend. Archies said. Very well. I shall leave you to it then. The servant said and left. So, this scion has the power to rival a god and compete with the lower-ranked angels. Compa, I think it's time we had a little chat about your apprentice getting in my way. Archie's said. Grand Zeno Palace. It seems Naruto is on the move, Vados. The Grand Priest said. It's the first time his power has been felt in 2 years. I wonder how he was able to stay hidden from us all this time. Whis said. He is very skilled in ki manipulation. We shouldn't be too surprised by this. It's actually quite impressive how he's able to stay hidden from us. Cuz said. Why are you complimenting him? He is our enemy. Vados said. No. He's you all's enemy. Me and Cuz have already said we're staying out of this. Makarita said. Why? Surely this doesn't mean you're turning your back on us. Whis said. No. What it means is me and Cuz haven't forgotten rule number 2 of Angels. We are not supposed to get involved in mortal matters. We are supposed to stay neutral, but all of you seem to have forgotten that. If a mortal is supposedly after an angel, why should we worry? I know exactly why all of you are really hoping for Naruto to give up or die by Vados' hands. Makarita said. Why is that? Whis asked. Because he makes you all feel fear. Deep down you all know Naruto will somehow figure out a way to kill Archies, and I'm honestly ashamed that you are stepping in his way. Makarita said. I'm doing my job. Vados said. By killing somebody who used to look at you as his mother? Face it. You all are no better than Archies. Makarita said. How? Whis asked. Archies is a known traitor to our kind. He spent the last however many years torturing and killing mortals, which is against angel code. It's basically rule number 1. The only deities that have the right to kill mortals are the gods of destruction, and yet you all are trying to let him off with a slap on the wrist. Tell me, Father, what would Archie's punishment be if he was turned in? Makarita asked. He will be closely watched by the Omni Kings themselves and not allowed to leave the palace on top of fixing his mess. The Grand Priest said. Well, it's a good thing Naruto will find a way to kill him. I'm with Naruto on this one. It's a shame how you still favor Archies, but I understand why. He was the first boy and was always your favorite child. Makarita said and left. Cuz, you've been quiet this whole time. Anything you wish to say? Whis asked. No. Makarita already said it for me. Cuz said. Then you've chosen the enemy. Vados said. No. I'm choosing the right side. Cuz said and left. After Cuz and Makarita left, the room was silent as nobody wanted to say a word. The Grand Priest simply left the room and went to report this to the Omni Kings. Earth. Naruto was in the middle of meditating after he finished training and had to admit that the form he was looking for is extremely hard to reach. He spent his time training in Ultra Instinct, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, but couldn't get the results he needed. All he knew was that the form he needed required divine ki, since he would have to basically become an angel in a sense. He was brought out of his meditation when Cuz and Makarita showed up. Can I help you? Naruto asked. No, but we can help you. Makarita said. How's that? Naruto asked. Makarita told me about what she said you needed to defeat Archies, and we may have an idea to help you. Cuz said. I'm all ears. Naruto said. As you know, the form you are trying to achieve must have the same principles as Ultra Instinct, but possess divine ki. We figured that the form relies around your Super Saiyan transformation. Makarita said. We figured if you were to go through training as an angel and learn to separate yourself from raw emotions and worldly concerns that you may achieve this form. Cuz said. Isn't that what I do with Ultra Instinct? Naruto asked. No. Ultra Instinct requires you to separate your consciousness from the body. While an ultra instinct, it is still capable of feeling some emotion. When Lord Beerus uses ultra instinct, he fights with a certain cockiness, but his emotions never hinder any of his movements. The form you need requires you to devoid yourself from all emotion. In a sense, you need to become a being of pure intention. Makarita said. What about love? I don't think I'll ever be able to let go of that emotion. I mean, Kale is the definition of love. In my book. I can't forget about her. What if I still feel love for Kale and everyone else, but my intentions are still pure? Would that work? Naruto asked. It's not how we angels do it, but you aren't an angel. We'll give it a shot. Makarita said. If it doesn't work, then you'll have to sacrifice love while in that form. Cuz said, and Naruto sighed. I understand. Naruto said. Great. Now, we still have our angel duties that must be done in our universes, but we'll leave you a training regimen to follow. Makarita said. That's okay. I need to train Caulifla anyway. Naruto said. The loudmouth female scion? Makarita asked. That's the one. She wants to become Super Saiyan Blue, and I agreed to teach her how to use Divine Ki. Naruto said. What about Kale? Cuz asked. She can use Divine Ki, but she has a problem using it willingly since her body is so used to exerting all that ki instead of keeping it inside, but she's close. Naruto said. That's good. Now, it's time to train, but only train in your Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue forms. We want you to feel as if Divine Ki is second nature to you since you barely use those transformations. Once that happens, then we can begin on trying to unlock your new form. Makarita said. Naruto powers up to Super Saiyan God, and he was immediately smacked away by their staff. His training would be brutal, and he would have to keep the rejuvenation tanks on standby. Kampa's planet. Kampa was relaxing on his planet, enjoying the quietness around him and enjoying some of Earth's food that Kale usually gives him. He was about to eat some ice cream, but he felt a powerful and familiar Ki signature arrive on his planet. Hello, Kampa. Arceus said. Arceus, you are an uninvited guest. Get lost. Kampa said. That won't happen. We need to talk about a certain scion. Arceus said and sat down. Chapter 15, Search for Arceus, Death of a Deity. I do not own Dragon Ball Z or any of its characters. Warning, Lemon Chapter. Kampa just stared at Arceus, who sat across from him with a smug look on his face, and you could feel the tension between the two of them. Kampa wanted to do nothing more than kill him right now, but he wouldn't do anything unless Arceus attacked him first. Arceus reached for some of the food Kampa was eating, but a blast from Kampa made him stop. It's common courtesy to offer your guests some refreshments. Arceus said. You're not my guest, and you never will be. The food is not for you to have. Do not test my patience. Now, what do you want? Kampa asked. Straight to business, I see. Tell me about the scion known as Naruto, and I may let you live. Arceus said. Why do you want to know about him? It seems beneath you to worry about a single mortal. Kampa said. This mortal is rumored to have defeated a hold of destruction after he was granted a seat at the table of deities. He also says he wants to kill me. Arceus said. Like I said before, it's beneath you to worry about a single mortal being. You're supposed to be ruthless and a killer. You're afraid of him, aren't you? You wouldn't worry about something like this usually, since he's a mortal being who you wouldn't waste your time on. Kampa said. What makes you think I'm worried about him? You forget an angel is basically immortal unless they are stripped of their powers. Arceus said. Well, your father seems to think otherwise. He's afraid along with the rest of the angels except for Cuz and Makarita. Your father witnessed Naruto's strength and is worried about his favorite child getting killed by a mortal who even disrespects the Omni King to his face. Kappa said. If my father is scared, then he's gotten weak over the years. A mere mortal should never put fear in the heart of a god or angel. Archie said. Yet Naruto does it with ease. He's put so much fear in their hearts that Vados and the other angels hope you turn yourself in for a punishment. Your father has even gone as far as putting Vados primarily in charge of taking him down. Kappa said, and although Archie's was surprised, he didn't show it. Interesting. Archie's thought. Tell me about this saiyan. Archie said. Nope. When you two fight, you have to fight him without knowing anything about him. Kappa said. This is about the protection of my universe. Any threat, I'll have to take it out. I just want my people to live a free life without having to worry about somebody like him. Archie said. Your universe? If this is your universe, then you're doing a shit job at keeping the mortal level high. If it was your universe, you wouldn't have to hide like a bitch. If it was your universe, you wouldn't have ran away from the Grand Priest when you attacked the Omni King. The angel for this universe is Vados. You're just a stray that went into hiding. Kappa said, and Archie's grit his teeth. You must have a death wish. I'll advise you to apologize to your superior. Archie said. You must have forgotten your place as an angel. You serve the gods. You're nothing more than a servant that needed a new job since he couldn't handle a few harsh words from the Omni King. You're pathetic. Kappa said. Wise words from a soon-to-be-dead man. Keep this up and I'll become the first god of destruction and angel for a universe. Archie said. My replacement has already been appointed and Vados is still the angel for this universe. You can always challenge her to a fight, but you'd lose like always. You may have been the firstborn son, but you were never able to beat Vados, Whis, Cuz or Makarita in a spar. Kappa said. You talk a big game for somebody who can easily die by my hands. Archie said and glared at Kappa. What can I say? I'm a natural asshole. Even if you do kill me, I'd give you a year or two at most to live unless you turn yourself in. Kappa said. Please. Like I'd ever do that. However, I'll humor you. How will I die in 2 years? Archie's asked. The one you are so hell-bent on finding is only going to get stronger. I'm sure he's only gotten stronger since the Tournament of Power, so if you want to live, I suggest you hand yourself in, but then that might not be enough to save you since Naruto can get into the Omni King's palace. Kappa said. I see. Thank you for your time, Kappa. Archie said and left. Earth. Naruto was currently in the middle of training with Caulifla and easily blocked a punch from her. He began her training and like Kale told her, it was hell. It's only been a week since she started and she was expecting quick results, but that wasn't the case. Naruto only fought her in his Super Saiyan God form to taunt her into keeping her energy within. She was frustrated at being unable to do this and transformed into Super Saiyan 3 only to be knocked out by Naruto. When she woke up, he made her start all over again, and after every training session, she would wake up in the rejuvenation tank. Will you just let me hit you? Stay still. Caulifla yelled and threw a punch at Naruto, who it. No. You're still leaking your ki out. You're not even focusing on keeping it inside. You'll never reach Super Saiyan Blue at this rate. Naruto said and punched her to the ground, but she came right back at him. Enough. Caulifla said, as she powered up to Super Saiyan 3 and fired a crush cannon at Naruto, but it did no damage. Pathetic. Naruto said and kicked her to the ground, rendering her unconscious. I guess that's enough training for the day. Kale said. No. She's not done. Naruto said. She's unconscious. It's over for today. Kale said. Just give her a sense of being. She'll have to go through the ritual and then hope her body can remember the feeling of becoming a Super Saiyan God. After you give her a sense of being, I'll need Dr. Prika and 4 more Saiyans. They'll be part of the ritual for her. Naruto said. There's a ritual for Super Saiyan God? Why didn't you just let me do the ritual? Kale asked. Because we were the only 2 Saiyans on Earth and you need a total of 6 in order for the ritual to work. It's not like I could go to Sadala and ask for 5 Saiyans to help you become a Saiyan God. Naruto said. I guess you're right. I'll be back. Kale said and flew away, so Naruto had to give Caulifla the sense of being. Ugh. Did I win? Caulifla asked. No. You're going to get a crutch in your training since I have my training with Cuz and Makurita. Naruto said. Why can't we sense when you're training? Caulifla asked. Because I'm basically in a different dimension. That's all I'm going to say about it. Naruto said. Fine. What's this crutch I have to get for my training? Caulifla asked. It's a ritual for you to become a Super Saiyan God. After that, we'll have a spar until the form runs out for you. Naruto said. What's the point of the ritual then if the form will just run out? Caulifla asked. The point is that I'm hoping your natural talent to adapt during battle allows your body to remember the feeling of you being in the Super Saiyan God form. If that happens, then we don't have to start from scratch and I'll have you focus on that feeling for your training. Naruto said. What about Kale? Doesn't she need to train in this as well? Caulifla asked. Not really. She meditates a lot. As you know, she can turn Super Saiyan God, but it's only if she's out under stress. She meditates a lot and focuses on the feeling of becoming a Super Saiyan God. I know what her problem is, but I'll let her figure it out on her own. Naruto said, and then Kale returned with 5 Saiyans. I'm back. So, what do we do? Kale asked. You stand to the side. The 5 of you need to gather in a circle while holding hands in the process. The 2 who are next to Caulifla need to place their palms on her back while she faces away from the group. Next, instead of concentrating your ki into the body, you must pour your inner light into Caulifla. Naruto said. Everyone nodded, then gathered around Caulifla and started to do as Naruto told them. After a few seconds of doing this, a yellow flame-like hue came from the group and Naruto noticed it was divine ki. The yellow flames turned into a golden hue and at this point, Caulifla started to experience a significant amount of pain. A blue aura starts to appear from one Dr. Prika, which eventually transferred into Caulifla as she started to become Super Saiyan God through the other 5 Saiyans. A beam shot into the sky from Caulifla and left a huge hole between the clouds. Caulifla began to rise up as she was surrounded by a pinkish-red shroud before it crumbled away. Caulifla appeared to be in her base form to the other Saiyans except for Naruto and Kale. So, how do you feel? Naruto asked. It feels great. I feel like I'm as light as a feather. Caulifla said and did some practice punches. Good. Now, let's see what you can do as a Super Saiyan God. Naruto said and punched her away. Naruto versus Caulifla. Wow. I barely felt that one. This is fucking awesome. Caulifla said and then blocked a punch from Naruto. Don't get too cocky. Naruto said. Caulifla smirked and blasted Naruto in the face before punching him away, but she had to quickly turn around to deflect a blast that came from behind her. In her attempt to block the blast, Naruto kicked her in the stomach and then blasted her away. Naruto transformed into Super Saiyan and flew after Caulifla, who was having a bit of trouble adjusting to the power of Super Saiyan God. He caught up to her and Caulifla fired off several huge energy blasts at Naruto, which she meant to be weaker than what they were, but she was still adjusting. You need to pace yourself, Naruto said as he dodged all of her blasts. Caulifla took a deep breath and then charged at Naruto, who charged at her as well. They started trading punches and kicks, creating shockwaves with the occasional energy blasts. Naruto noticed Caulifla trying to add more power to her attacks, and it was hindering her ability to fully use the Super Saiyan God form. You're using the form wrong. Stop thinking about Super Saiyan Blue right now. This form isn't built for power. It's for speed and precision, Naruto said while blocking her attacks. I can't help it, Caulifla said and threw a punch at him, but he deflected it, then punched her in the stomach. You can. You just choose not to. Stop trying to run before you can walk, Naruto said. Caulifla grit her teeth and then flew at Naruto faster than she wanted to, so when Naruto moved out of the way, she crashed face first into a mountain. Naruto couldn't hold back the chuckle that escaped his lips, and Caulifla glared at him. They resumed fighting, and the more the fight went on, the more Caulifla started to get used to the Super Saiyan God form. At least that's what she thought, since Naruto was now in his Super Saiyan 2 form. She never realized that she fell out of her Super Saiyan God form and was a regular Super Saiyan. Naruto kicked her away, and before she could recover, Naruto threw a huge majestic grenade at her, and she had trouble holding it back. She let out one final yell, and the attack exploded, causing a huge mushroom cloud to appear, but before the attack exploded, Naruto saw her unconsciously transform back into Super Saiyan God. It took a while for the cloud to go away, but when it did, Caulifla was standing floating there with her clothes destroyed, leaving little to the imagination, and her eyes were barely open. How did I do? Caulifla asked. You did good. You never realized it, but your Super Saiyan God transformation wore off a while ago and you were in your Super Saiyan form, Naruto said. Then how was I able to keep fighting you? Caulifla asked. It's like I hoped. Your body was able to remember the power you had in Super Saiyan God and gave you a significant power boost to match me as a Super Saiyan 2. Did you recognize anything unusual before my attack exploded? Naruto asked. No. I just felt light, Caulifla said. That's because you transformed into Super Saiyan God again. You have the power inside of you, now you need to train to be able to use it at will. After you can successfully transform into Super Saiyan God at will, I'll teach you how to go Super Saiyan Blue, Naruto said. Great, Caulifla said and then passed out, but Naruto caught her. Let's get you to the rejuvenation tanks, Naruto said and flew back to his house. Caulifla, what did you do? Kaba asked and glared at Naruto. I'd watch who you're glaring at. Don't forget that I can kill you before you even think of your next move. Just put her in the rejuvenation tank, Naruto said. Kaba, go. Naruto, what happened? Kale asked, as Kaba reluctantly walked away. We were just training. She had a few hiccups during the fight, but she fixed them as the fight went on. I fought her like I did with you when you first accessed Super Saiyan God, Naruto said. Did she transform at the end like I did? Kale asked. Yeah. She just has to train like you, and after she can consistently transform, I'll teach her how to use Super Saiyan Blue, Naruto said. Well, I don't need to train to use Super Saiyan God anymore. I figured out the problem I was having, Kale said. Oh? What was the problem? Naruto asked and Kale narrowed her eyes. You already knew what the problem was, didn't you? Kale asked. Of course I did. Now, tell me what the problem is? Naruto asked. I'm not keeping all of my ki inside like I need to. That's why I keep going Super Saiyan instead, Kale said. Good. Now, you need to get used to using the form, so whenever you train, only use Super Saiyan God. Naruto said. Are you going to train? Kale asked. Yeah. I'll be back by the morning. Naruto said. Can you try to make it back tonight? Kale asked and gave the puppy dog eyes. Damn it. I hate that look. Naruto thought. I'll try. Naruto said and Kale gave him a beaming smile. Thank you. Kale said and flew away. I fell for it again. Naruto mumbled and flew away. Training area. Naruto landed at his training area, but didn't see Cuz or Makurita there and figured they must be running late. He sat down and started to meditate, focusing on keeping all of his energy inside, which is something Cuz and Makurita have him do. He focused on that as well as trying to become a being of pure intention while keeping his love for Kale. It seemed impossible, but when he relaxed even more, he felt something deep inside of him that was waiting to be awakened. He meditated for hours until the moon was up. Cuz and Makurita never showed up, so he decided to go home since he wouldn't get any training from them tonight. What he didn't know was that a tragic event took place earlier during a meeting that would have an effect on him. Naruto's home. Kale? Naruto asked as he walked in the house. I'm in the kitchen, Kale said, and when Naruto went to the kitchen he saw the biggest feast he's ever seen. Whoa! Is this all for me? Naruto asked. Yup. I made it myself. It's a good thing we have more than one stove or I wouldn't have been able to do this. Kale said and gave him a kiss. Am I in trouble or something? This seems like a bit much. Naruto said and Kale giggled. No. You're not in trouble. You don't know what today is, do you? Kale asked. Saturday? Naruto asked. No. Well, yes. That's not all today is. It's our 2-year anniversary. Kale said and gave Naruto a kiss. I knew that. Naruto said and Kale rolled her eyes. No you didn't, but that's okay. Kale said. I'll make it up to you. What can I do? Naruto asked. You can eat your food and join me in the bedroom. Kale said. Deal. Naruto said and quickly ate his food before taking Kale to the bedroom. Lemon. As soon as they entered their room, Kale locked the door and basically ripped Naruto's pants off. His dick was soft, but she enjoyed the feeling of it growing inside of her mouth as she started to suck on it. Once his dick was fully hard, Kale took as much as she could down her throat and gagged on it. Naruto took his hand and forced Kale further down on his dick, and she moaned at how rough he was being. She came up for air and then put her arms behind her back. Fuck my throat, baby, Kale said. Naruto grabbed his dick and shoved it down Kale's throat in one thrust that made her gag. Kale nodded her head and Naruto began to rapidly fuck her throat, and Kale had an orgasm just from the feeling on him ramming his dick down her throat. This went on for 15 minutes until Kale started to play with his balls and he came down her throat, making her eyes roll to the back of her head. Oh fuck, I needed that cock in my mouth so bad, Kale said. Me too, Naruto said, and Kale took her clothes off. Fuck me like you hate me, Kale said, as she got on all fours and shook her ass at Naruto. Naruto didn't say anything and just took his dick, then shoved it right in her pussy. Kale screamed from pain and pleasure, but urged Naruto to keep going. He fucked her so hard that her ass turned red within the first 5 seconds. Naruto was happy that she was finally getting some dick after nearly a week without it, which is unusual for them, and she arched her back, then moaned as Naruto grabbed her hair and pulled it hard. Fuck. I like it rough. Make me your bitch. Fuck me into submission, Kale said. She started to come on his dick, but he just kept going. He wrapped her hair around his hand so that he felt his knuckles on her skull and pulled her hair harder as he continued to fuck her. Kale started playing with her nipples and moaned she felt herself coming again as it started shooting out of her like a rocket. She felt Naruto tense up inside of her and started to throw her ass back after each thrust. Naruto was at the end and pulled out. Kale got on her knees and allowed Naruto to come in her mouth. It was a lot, but she moaned as each rope of cum filled up her mouth and played with his balls to get more of it out. When Naruto was finished coming, he started to smack her in the face with his dick and she would tell him to do it harder. He grabbed her by the back of the head and shoved his dick down her throat and fucked her throat again, but this time it was harder and faster. Kale loved it and she was in heaven right now. Naruto pulled out of her throat making her gasp for air and she gave him a rough tit job, and when he was about to come again, she let him do it on her tits. This time it was a lot more cum that came out than the first time, and when he was done, Kale looked up at him and smiled as she wiped the cum off of her chest and swallowed it. "I see you're ready to go again," Kale said and licked the tip of his dick. "You know I can go all night," Naruto said. "That's the idea," Kale said. She pushed Naruto onto the bed, then climbed on his lap and purposely put her breasts in his face. She lifted herself up and lined him up at her entrance before sinking down on his dick, moaning loudly from the feeling of it going inside. "Shit, I can't get over how big you are," Kale said. She started raising herself up and down at a slow pace before picking up speed. He was sucking on her nipples and reached a hand down and started to rub her clit, getting a loud moan from her. He decided to join her by thrusting his hips upward every time she came down on him. He began to thrust up into her at a fast pace and she went up one more time but never came down. She just let him thrust up and down inside of her while she started to rub her clit. She felt her orgasm coming and moaned loud. "Shit, I'm about to come, Naruto. Don't stop. Please don't stop," she said, as he thrust it even faster and harder, making her rub herself faster. "Shit, I'm coming," she yelled. Like a waterfall, all of her juices came squirting out of her onto his lap and the sheets as she got off him and started to suck his dick, getting a moan from him. She was bobbing her head up and down fast, enjoying the taste of herself on him. After sucking for 5 minutes, she took him all the way down her throat and she stuck her tongue out and licked his balls. She took him out her throat and was breathing heavily. She laid down on her back and lifted her legs back so her feet were near her head. "Fuck my pussy hard, Naruto," she said. Naruto didn't even say anything to her. He just put his dick inside her with one push. He started slow, but he found his rhythm and picked up the pace. All you could hear was the sound of skin hitting skin. She squirted again, but the wetness only made him go harder and faster. Much to her delight, since he kept going, her orgasm didn't stop. She kept on squirting for 5 minutes. As he was getting close, she felt him twitch inside of her. He pulled out and started to titty fuck her while she would suck on the tip of his dick. He eventually came again and her eyes went to the back of her head. Kale was breathing heavily, but Naruto wasn't finished. He went down to her pussy and stuck his tongue inside of her pussy, making her moan. She briefly stopped him to pull him up for a kiss to get a taste of herself and then let him continue. He started licking and sucking on Kale's pussy, and he loved the moans and groans Kale was giving out as he continued to taste her pussy. He enjoyed the feel of her soft and wet pussy on his tongue and then found her clit. Kale cried out and she struggled a bit as the feelings Naruto gave her were driving her crazy. This went on for quite a while until Naruto pushed his tongue past her inner lips and straight into her pussy as he started to kick all around inside. That was enough to drive Kale over the edge as she had her orgasm. "Naruto!" Kale yelled. Kale arched her body upwards as she felt her body's release, and she felt like she was flying into the sky or floating in a pool of warm energy. She felt more alive than anything as she relaxed and fell back on the mattress and began to pant and gasp as she began to recover. "How was that?" Naruto asked, and his response was Kale pulling him in for a sloppy kiss. "One more round." Kale said and got on all fours. All right, Naruto said as he lined up at her entrance, but she reached back and placed the tip of his dick at her ass. In here. Kale. Naruto looked at her to ask if she was sure and she nodded. He rubbed the tip on her asshole, making her whine, and then he slowly entered. Kale gritted her teeth as it was really painful, but managed to relax a bit, and once Naruto was fully inside it was the best thing ever. He started off slow because it was new to them and soon picked up the pace. He smacked her ass and she loved it, so smacked her ass until it turned red. Kale was on cloud 9 right now and wondered why she didn't try this sooner. They switched positions and Kale was on top, slowly bouncing and grinding on his dick while he was kissing, pinching, and softly biting her nipples. She squirted again, and this time Naruto didn't stop until he felt his release coming. He held Kale up by her ass and fucked her hard in the ass, making sure she was screaming his name. That only made him go faster and harder until he buried his dick deep inside of her, coming in her ass. Lemon end. Oh fuck. That was fantastic. I can't believe I didn't try this earlier. Kale said as she collapsed onto his chest. Glad you liked it. Naruto said. Liked it? I loved it. Kale said and yawned. Tired? Naruto asked and she chuckled. Yeah. It was worth it though. I love you. Kale said. I love you too. Naruto replied and kissed her on the top of her head. So, how was training? You must have made some progress if you came back this early. Kale said. I didn't really train. Cousin Makarita never showed up. I did make progress though. I felt something deep inside of me while I was meditating, and I think I just need the right trigger to unlock it. Naruto said. That's good. Why do you think Cousin Makarita never showed up? Kale asked. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. Naruto said. Okay. Let me know. Kale said and was out for the rest of the night. Good night, Kale. Naruto said. Next day. Naruto, wake up. Kale said and his eyes snapped open. I'm up. I'm up. Where's the fire? Naruto asked. Cousin Makarita want to talk to you. They said it's important. Kale said. All right. Give me a minute. Naruto said. They said to meet them at the training area. Kale said and left the room with a limp. Training area. Okay. I'm here. So, what's up? Naruto asked. We need you to not act rash or go out of control. Makarita said. Okay. What is it? Naruto asked. Lord Kampa is dead. Cuz said and Naruto looked at her. What? Naruto asked. It's true. He died yesterday. Makarita said. What happened? Naruto asked. It happened during a meeting the Grand Priest called. Cuz said. Flashback. I'm sorry. You want me to do what? Kampa asked. I want you to destroy Naruto. The Grand Priest said. How exactly do you want me to do that? Kampa asked. With your destruction energy, of course. The Grand Priest said. You expect me to kill one person just because he's going after an angel who you know should be dead? Are you insane? Kampa asked and the other gods gasped, since nobody has even spoken to the Grand Priest like that except for Naruto. Excuse me? The Grand Priest asked. Am I the only one who remembers what Naruto did to Belmont's full power Hokage attack during the Tournament of Power? He literally flew into it and made it into his own attack. Besides, Arceus had the nerve to think Universe 6 was his since he's killed maybe billions. Kampa said. He spoke to you? The Grand Priest asked. Sure did. That arrogant bastard showed up on my planet and tried to threaten me for information on Naruto, but it didn't work. My question is, why are you sending people to go after Naruto when you should send somebody after Arceus? Kappa asked. It's because Arceus was his favorite growing up. Makarita said. Silence. You will go after Naruto as I ordered you to, or you will face the consequences. The Grand Priest said. No. He hasn't done anything wrong in my book. I'm the god of destruction of Universe 6. It belongs to me. You don't tell me what to do in my own universe. You just oversee things and report them back to Grand Zeno. Wait a minute. You're scared that Naruto might figure out a way to kill an angel, aren't you? Oh, of course you are. You didn't care enough to track down Arceus before Naruto found out about him. Kappa said. We couldn't locate him. The Grand Priest said. That's bullshit. You're the strongest angel ever. Literally light years ahead of everyone here in strength. I find it hard to believe that you couldn't track him down. Kappa said, and the Grand Priest stayed silent. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Feel free to tell me that I'm wrong. Kappa said. Lord Beerus, I must say your brother has quite the audacity to speak to the Grand Minister in such a way. Heli said. I blame that scion of his. It seems his arrogant attitude has rubbed off on your brother. Sidra said. Listen, just let them fight. If they fight and Arceus wins, I know for a fact that Naruto will severely weaken him so you can capture him, and if Naruto wins then Arceus will be gone forever. Either way it goes, Arceus will lose in the end. Kappa said. Vados, when Naruto shows up again, I am ordering you to terminate him on the spot. Show no remorse. The Grand Priest said. Sheesh. Naruto must put a lot of fear in you if you're going this far to save Arceus. Kappa said. Lord Kappa, we are not saving him. He will be facing punishment for his crimes. Vados said. No. All he's going to do is basically babysit him. If your punishment is to have him serve you and be under heavy watch after everything he's done, then maybe it's time you step down as the Grand Minister. Kappa said, and everyone gasped. Are you implying something, Lord Kappa? The Grand Priest asked in a deadly tone. I'm not implying anything. I'm stating a mere fact. You've gotten soft over the years and should consider stepping down. Kappa said. Or I should have you replaced as God of Destruction. The Grand Priest said. You could if I didn't already choose my replacement. Kappa said. Who did you choose as your replacement, Lord Kappa? Cuz asked. It should be pretty obvious who I chose. He hasn't accepted it yet, but after he's done with Arceus, I'm sure he'll take up the seat. Although he'll be a lot different than how us gods run our universes. Kappa said. I see. If he becomes a god, then he'll have to face punishment for his crimes against an angel. The Grand Priest said. Nope. The rule states a god of destruction can't face any crimes he did against a deity as a mortal. You're just abusing your power. Kappa said. He's right, Father. You can't do that. If he does kill Arceus, there's nothing you can do about it. Makarita said. Hey, does anybody else feel lightheaded? Kappa asked, and the collapsed. Lord Kappa. Vados said and went to his side. What happened? Makarita asked, and then Kappa's oracle fish appeared. Grand Minister. It's an emergency. The oracle fish said. What is it? The Grand Priest asked. Fua has been killed just now. The oracle fish said. What? By who? Beerus yelled. It was Arceus. He just appeared and brutally slaughtered Fua in battle. It was so gruesome that I can't even begin to describe it. The oracle fish said. Where is he? Beerus asked and started to release his power. I don't know. He left as soon as he ripped Fuwa apart, literally. The oracle fish said, and then Kampa's body disappeared. Lord Beerus? Whis asked. Let's go, Whis. Beerus said. Of course. Whis said, and they left. This is bad. Cuz said. What are you going to do now, father? Arceus has just killed 2 deities. Makarita said. I'm sorry, Lord Kampa. Vados said. I know I didn't like Kampa that much, but he has my respect. I wish him the best in the afterlife. Quidella said. Such a shame. Although Kampa can be quite rude, he was always able to make things lively around here with his antics. Heli said. Father, what do we do? Even I can't see myself capturing him after this. He needs to be stopped. Vados said. Nothing changes. You will carry out the orders I gave you. The Grand Priest said. No. Vados said. Excuse me? The Grand Priest asked. I said no. It's obvious your favoritism for Arceus is preventing you from doing your job correctly. I am no longer interfering in this. When this is over, you will step down as Grand Priest. Vados said. Oh? Who will make me? The Grand Priest asked. It only takes a majority vote to have you removed, and from the way things are looking, I have a majority vote right now. Vados said as all the gods, angels minus Beerus and Whis, were standing behind her. I see. Who will be my replacement? The Grand Priest asked. All angels will oversee things until a replacement is chosen. This meeting is adjourned. Vados said and left to mourn the loss of Kampa. Flashback end. That's what happened. Arceus went after Fuwa since he knew that was the key to killing Kampa. Cuz said. I'm guessing he also went after him to stay undetectable. We all tried to find him, but he's keeping his presence hidden. Only the Grand Priest can find him, but he's not even trying to. Makarita said. Why haven't the 2 idiots tried to find him? Naruto asked. Well, they are busy. Cuz said. Doing what? Taking a nap. Naruto said. Yes. Makarita said. So, now that Vados won't interfere, what's next besides finding Arceus? Naruto asked. Now, you train. We'll start tomorrow. You may want to get used to your new home first, so we'll be training there from now on. Makarita said. I may have agreed with Kampa to become the god of destruction after Arceus is dealt with, but I am not living on a planet isolated from humanity. I'll stay on Earth with Kale and use Kampa's planet for training. However, I want Kale to be my version of the Supreme Kai. Our lives will be linked together, and I want her by my side for as long as I'm alive. Naruto said. That has never been done before, but I don't see why it can't happen. She'll have to train with the other Kais to gain her powers of creation. Makarita said. That's fine with me. Naruto said. Now that we have everything settled, what are you going to do? Cuz asked. I just have something small to deal with. I'll see you 2 tomorrow. Naruto said and flew away. You felt that, right? Makarita asked. The dormant power inside of him? Yes, I felt it. Cuz said. Perhaps Arceus will be defeated quicker than we thought if Naruto can access that power. Makarita said. There is no guarantee that he will be able to properly use it. He will learn to access the power, but we must make sure he can properly use it or he'll lose. Cuz said. Then we'll train him to his limits and beyond that. Makarita said. Maybe I can help. Vados said, as she appeared. Are you sure? You and Naruto did have a pretty bad fallout, Makarita said. I'm sure. Vado said. Perhaps since you're taking Naruto back as a student, maybe we should get a student, Makarita said. Who do you have in mind? Cuz asked. I don't know. I'll find somebody when the right person presents themselves, Makarita said, and then Kale came over to them. Would you ladies care for some lunch? Kale asked. How did you know we were here? Vados asked. I'm able to sense divine ki now. Naruto trained me to become a Super Saiyan god as well as cauliflower. Kale said. I see he's been busy the past 2 years. Cuz said. Will he be joining us for lunch? Makarita asked. No. He told me he was leaving for a few hours and I couldn't sense him at all. Kale said. I know where he's going. Let him have some alone time. Vado said. Is something going on? He seemed a bit out of it when I talked to him. Kale said. We'll talk about it over lunch. Makarita said. Okay. Follow me. Kale said, and they flew off. Planet Arda. I see you have returned, my liege. A servant said. Yes. My business is finished for now. Archie said. I hope your business was successful. The servant said. Not as much as I'd like, but I did complete part of my mission. The god of destruction is now dead. This is my universe now, and once that scion shows his face, I'll personally humiliate him. Archie said. I see. I must inform you that the 3 of them are already here and are awaiting orders. The servant said. I see. Send them in. Archie said. Yes, my liege. The servant said and walked out of the room as 3 people walked in. Demigra, Mira, and Tawa. It's good to see you all again. Archie said. Tawa was a beautiful woman with a curvaceous and slender frame. She has long white hair, light blue skin, and purple eyes. The right side of her hair is longer than the other and hangs in front of her chest. She wears gold earrings that resemble Potaras. She wears a red and black skin-tight bodysuit that has a V-shaped hole around her stomach, and it has slits on the bottom half exposing the bottom of her breasts. She wears a white open leg cape that is jagged at the bottom, and red and black high heels. Mira was a pale man with blue skin and white hair, having a line on both cheeks that goes from the eyes until his jaw. Initially, he wears red clothing that covers all his body. Above his red clothing, he wears white armor and a brown strap around his neck. He also wears cape-like pants covering his legs, leaving only a red pair of shoes to be visible. He also wears gray wristbands. Demigra is a gray-skinned man with red hair, red eyes, and has red lines that start from his eyes and end at his cheekbones. He wears a heavenly blue overcoat with golden details on his upper part of the body and rounded on the arms. He wears blue boots curling at the end of it and a darker blue in pants. Demigra also wears a belt with the letter D in the front, a golden tiara. Lord Archies, a pleasure to see you as well. Tawa said and bowed. Why have you called us here? Demigra asked. I called you all here for a job. You see there are 2 scions that I want you 3 to find and capture. Archies said. A scion? Where are they? A scion named stopped us long ago from rewriting history, and since I can't find him, I'll deal with whoever is next best. Demigra said. That's the thing, not even I can find him. I know you 3 can no longer go to different times, but perhaps you can locate him or anybody that's hiding him. Archies said. What do we get out of this mission? Mira asked. You all each get a piece of the scion, but leave him alive. Archies said. No. Allow us to kill his friends and then we're done working for you. Demigra said. Very well. You bring me the saiyan and I'll let you all go. Archie said. Very well. Give us everything you have on him and we'll get started right away. Tawa said. Earth. I can't believe Kampa is dead. Kale said. I know. He may have been annoying, but he was pretty damn cool and fun to mess with. Caulifla said. What will happen now? Aren't the universes out of balance with Kampa being gone? Kaba asked. No. A new god of destruction has already been chosen by Kampa, but he hasn't taken the mantle yet. Vados said. Who's the god of destruction? Caulifla asked. It's obvious who Lord Kampa would choose to replace him. Vados said. It's Naruto. That's why he was training him on how to use destruction energy. Kale said. Exactly. It seems he was ready to step down as god of destruction. Vados said. He made an excellent choice for his replacement. Ka said, and then Naruto appeared. Sup? Naruto said. What happened to your clothes? Kale asked. I was training. Naruto said. You're done already? Caulifla asked. I was Super Saiyan Blue fighting against a clone of myself that was using Ultra Instinct. I'm sure you can see why I'm already done. Naruto said. Are you hungry? I can make you something to eat. Kale said. No. I'm actually not hungry. I'm just going to shower and go to sleep. By the way, Arceus has 3 more people with him that are a lot stronger than I's. The 3 of you need to train seriously since you'll have to fight them. Naruto said and went inside the house. Well, I'm going to train and then kick some ass. What about you, Kale? Caulifla asked. I'm going to train as well. I can fully use Super Saiyan God now and I just need to work on getting my new transformation. Kale said. I need to work on Super Saiyan God and then get Super Saiyan Blue. After I get Super Saiyan Blue, then I'll take it to the next level. Caulifla said. What about you, Kaba? Vados asked. I was thinking of meeting with a friend of mine on planet Solaris. He's the one who taught me the burning charge technique that I use sometimes. Kaba said. Then put this device around your neck. Kale said and gave him a necklace. What is it? Kaba asked. It's a device that keeps your power from being detected. Bulma gave this to us when she came to visit about a year ago to help us with some technology. Kale said. Nice. Kaba said and put it on. How about some help, Kale and Caulifla? Makarita asked. What do you mean? Caulifla asked. I can train one of you since we all have a common enemy right now and Cuz can train the other. Makarita said. What about Naruto? Kale asked. I'll help him train. Vados said. All right. Who's training who? Caulifla asked. I'll train you, Caulifla. Makarita said. Yes. No offense, Cuz. Caulifla said. It's okay. Kale, we can start tomorrow if you're up for it. Cuz said. Thank you. Kale said. Naruto's dream. Hey! Idiot! A familiar voice said. What do you want, Kampa? Naruto asked. Why are you moping around about my death? I wouldn't think you'd care if I died. Kampa said. I'm not moping around. Naruto said. Then why haven't you eaten lunch? You're worse than me when it comes to eating food. Kampa said and Naruto sighed. Well, you were like an uncle to me. It's only natural that I mourn your death. Naruto said. Listen, me dying should push you to become better and protect the people most important to you. You'll have plenty of time to mourn my death, but do it after you kill Arceus. Who knows, maybe I'll be reincarnated as a cat and we'll cross paths again. Now, wake up and start training. I know what you're doing in training and I believe you can do it. Once you kill Arceus, do me one last favor and piss on his body. Kappa said, and Naruto chuckled. How about you hurry up and become an actual cat? I'll bring you along for the fight and you can piss on his body. Naruto said. Deal. Now, stop whining like a bitch. Kappa said and faded away. Still an asshole even after your death. Naruto said. Real world. Naruto woke up and saw the moon shining in through the window. Kale was fast asleep with her hair sprawled out everywhere and her head on his chest. He slowly climbed out of bed and went to go train, but when he arrived at the training area, Vados was there seemingly waiting for him. Wasn't expecting to see you here. Naruto said. I figured you'd come here eventually. Vados said. It took your father not willing to kill Arceus over Kappa for you to come to your senses. That's a shame. Naruto said. I know. I was being stubborn and blinded by the fact that you wanted to kill Arceus. I was trying to protect the reputation of us angels, but our reputation was already ruined when he started to kill mortals. Vados said. You openly betrayed me knowing that I cared for you most besides Kale. You were willing to kill me just for the sake of somebody who was only going to kill more people. I don't want Arceus dead just because he killed my parents. I want him dead so he can't hurt anyone I care about. Naruto said. I know, and that is why, if you'll allow it, I want to take over your training. Cuz and Makarita have already informed me on what you want to do. Vados said. I guess you can train me. Naruto said. Thank you, Lord Naruto. Vados said. You don't have to call me that. Naruto is just fine. Naruto said. As you wish. Vados said and sat here staff down. One more thing. You won't be my angel for Universe 6. Naruto said, and Vados did a good job hiding her shock. Why not? Vados asked. It's nothing personal. It's just that we both know who the angels and gods will choose to replace the Grand Priest. You can't do both since you'll be babysitting the two idiots on the throne. Naruto said, and Vados sighed. You're never going to stop calling them that, are you? Vados asked. Not a chance. You know I'm right about them. Anyway, let's start training. Naruto said. Of course. We'll start with meditation, then move on to spars with you transitioning between Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God and Ultra Instinct. Vados said. At least Kale and Cauliflower will have an easier time with what they want to do. Naruto said. Well, you wouldn't appreciate the results if it were easy. Now, get in the staff. It's time to train. Vados said. They were transferred into her staff and Naruto immediately started to meditate. While Naruto was training, Demigra, Tawa, and Mira were starting to get pissed off because Arceus had no information on Naruto or the last planet he was on. One thing for sure, Universe 6 was about to have the most important fight in its history after the Tournament of Power, and Naruto, Kale, Cauliflower, and Kaba were the only members on the team.